Thank you for taking the time to click on L.O.R.E. Please subscribe here and don't forget to follow us on twitch.tv/LoreLivePlay.
The province of Talantis, a lush landscape almost untouched by civilization. A prime example of nature thriving, domineering the slow-growing settlements on its fringes.
It is here that something new has begun to take shape. Creatures not native, nor natural by evolutionary means have made themselves known to curious outward eyes.
Curiosity, however, should be shared with a side of caution. These creatures show much aggression, are exceedingly territorial, and have presented themselves as a problem for many. But maybe not for a few whose paths have yet to be determined.
Whether or not these individuals walk the paths that will be presented to them,
Events will unfold as they will.
No one is ever appropriately called to action
but these few,
Will have a hand
in uncovering
the guise of
of
these
these
new
new
untamed
untamed
beasts.
Hello, greetings. Welcome to L.O.R.E. and tonight's session of the
Whoa!
Guise of Untamed Beasts.
There it is. Sorry, I'm doing math.
Just see a head and
You became visible and a lot more
cliche.
high.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
Yeah,
who's this
I'm
one?
the,
There we go.
I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm the dungeon master. Hi, my name's Matthew.
I got
These
you.
are my players.
Sure it is.
Yeah, we'll start with Mr. Mathematician over here. DG. Yeah, sure.
Hi, I'm DG. I play Azazel. He's a hobgoblin and a wizard. He's pretty cool.
Spider-Man.
Goodbye, Spider-Man. Mwah. That's how the movie ends.
Jesus.
I have a death note.
Oh my god.
Thank you, DG.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Next we have Ryan.
Hi. I'm jeez, I've forgotten. I'm Ryan Kaz, aka Ryan K Plays. I play Zorl, the tree speaker, and I have to go.
Thanks for coming out, Ryan. We'll maybe see you in the future. Who knows? At this
I've
point.
completely forgotten how to stream.
Clearly. It's the holiday break.
I know we are. We totally are.
Okay.
Just, I have no music up or anything.
Wait, what?
It's like,
Oh, well, you've time.
Oh,
whoops.
I'll provide.
Sure. Jody, introduce yourself. Although I'm sure everyone knows.
Oh, hi.
Oh, that's
I'm
it.
Jody Krangle. I'm playing a human cleric named L.O.R.E, who really believes that everything is better with cookies, because it's true.
And cookies are damn delicious, and you
They
better
are.
not argue that point, or we will find where you live.
And send
And-
in cookies.
And we will give you so many oatmeal raisins.
But they're good.
They are good.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have Chris.
Oh, hi. I'm Chris, the confused producer of this
Wow.
crazy channel. I play... Forgot his name already. Trovik, the confused barbarian minotaur who thinks he's an orc. And I, too, was once a wizard, Harry.
13 sessions in, and all.
I'm sorry.
nothing-
I got everyone really discombobulated talking about
Thank
like
you.
how young I am and how Doc Ock kissed Spider-Man. Like, really threw everyone off.
It did.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll let you take the blame on that.
Yeah.
It's your fanfic, Ryan.
Damn it, you told.
Oh my god.
Man.
I'm loving the
Moo.
energy though.
The publisher named Daddy Ock.
Oh boy.
We can get through this.
Sure. before we begin, I'd like to talk about Extra Life. It's a program for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals to help raise money through Twitch and the gaming community. We have linked up with Penn State's Children's Hospital with the goal of raising $500 in donations this year, which we did, and we can always raise more with your help. How do we do that? Through natural ones. For every natural one rolled, you will hear this sound. A sound. Something.
Bruh.
Yes, that. And you can donate $1 to match at the end of the session. We tally them all up. Whenever you hear the bruh and more bruh. Anyone can donate the total ones we rolled or more if you're feeling generous. Simply follow the link below in our About section and click the donate button to help. All donations go directly to Penn State Children's Hospital. Last but not least, let's talk about Foundry. Foundry is a virtual tabletop application built for experiencing multiplayer tabletop RPGs. The GM, me, uses a self-hosted application where their players connect directly through their web browser. That's my internet. It contains support for over 150 different game systems and over 1,000 custom add-on modules. Too many to count. I've got like 12 or 15 maybe, and we're using the D&D one. Yeah. The developers also have an interactive Discord community where they answer your technical questions. They don't answer my questions, but they provide release updates and upcoming community content. I tend to ignore it sometimes. Best of all.
This is your best pitch yet.
Exactly. Best of all, this can all be acquired with a one-time purchase without subscriptions or feature gating. If this sounds like a product that can greatly enhance gameplay for you and your gaming table, then go check out their website at www.foundryvtt.com for all their details. I did pay for it, and I still advocate it because it's still an awesome software to use, as much as I'm being an ass right now. But that's all I've got to say. Chris, you got anything you need to say? Anything you'd like to share?
Go buy stuff at our invisible imaginary merch store.
For Christmas.
Yeah, for Christmas. Look, fam, it is Christmas time. It's the holiday season. 'Tis the season to be buying.
The moon is right.
Yeah, I don't know the rest.
No, it's just the moon is right.
The moon is right, and that's all. We got bumper stickers, we got pins, the pins you put on the back of your car, the bumper sticker you put on your shirt, right? I think that's how it goes.
Yes.
Just like, you know, when they tell you to key a car and stick a potato in the exhaust and you end up rubbing the potato up and down the car and leaving your keys in the exhaust. It's an old, never mind, Fresh Prince.
On.
So look, yeah, and then the last but not least, you're looking at a weird new overlay, and that's, it's not, I mean, it's okay. So it was supposed to be for a one-shot that we ended up not having because I'm lazy and wanted to use it anyway, so here we are using it. It says holiday one-shot. It's not a one-shot. This is our campaign.
The holidays, so we make do with what we got.
It's
make it
got
interesting,
little
make it new,
ornaments
fresh.
going like this.
It's beautiful and it's cute. You should love it and adore it. And for those that don't celebrate Christmas, well, whatever you do celebrate, happy holidays.
Yeah, we missed Hanukkah. Sorry. Hope you had a happy Hanukkah.
Sorry about that. Happy Hanukkah. Happy belated Hanukkah.
8 crazy nights, man.
Exactly. And tonight's going to be a crazy night too. The rate we're going.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, let's see.
Remember-
What do I do next? You know what? I think that's all I have to say about our announcements. Chris shared his merch. Let's do a quick recap. Recap. Let's see. Look at my notes. Right. They were in the midst of a combat. In the midst of a combat between 5 mercenaries and this large fox-like creature, mixture of like a draconic, whatever. Purple furred, white furred around his neck, a few different interesting designs on his body, and just somewhat agitated and angry, and at the beck and call of these mercenaries.
It was the Ravens mascot.
Indeed. I know nothing about that. But when they left the cave, they came across these individuals, and trying to have a conversation with them, Azazel misty-stepped to this larger, more imposing figure, threatening them, trying to get some answers out of them, but was merely ignored and walked away into a portal that emerged through the trees and disappeared. Upon vacating the premises, so to speak, the 4 mercenaries and the creature chose to immediately attack, following on what they believed to be their orders. The battle ensued, causing almost a few of you to succumb to your wounds. However, with the newfound party member, L.O.R.E, and her magical new healing abilities, was able to keep everyone on their toes and up enough just to survive long enough before an interesting pair of individuals arrived.
Thanks, Sam.
As per a previous donation, I introduced 2 characters, one named Chiffon, though nicknamed Chuff by Brahmin, who liked to poke fun at him. The 2 of them aided our heroes here in combat and slayed the creature before leaving one of the mercenaries alive, though unconscious, to be questioned later. Azazel recognized the members as part of the mysterious League of Obaidashi, a secretive group of potential protectors of the planes of this planet, this ecosystem, from threats beyond most people don't encounter or neither comprehend. But after a bit of a conversation, Brahm took it upon himself to head back into the cave and then kill the 2 remaining jack-o'-wares that you had all previously agreed to leave alone. Emerging again and suggesting maybe you take a bit of respite in this now empty den of inhabitants. They bid you farewell, gave you their thanks, and went on their way, while the rest of you, as nightfall came, brought yourselves back inside to have a nice warm cooked meal by the lovely L.O.R.E, who had made up a scrumptious, I believe I remember bread and a soup and maybe like a porridge of some kind, but I could be mistaken.
Get this
He did
bread.
I believe it was like a stew
A stew, yes.
Stewie.
with fresh
Stew.
bread. Yum.
It was most delicious, and after a bit of banter and both Doxia and Trovik running about the cave or the den and pilfering everything and kind of setting it aside, you all decided to take a nice long rest before the morning came. And now, several hours have passed. It's quiet in the den. There are the 6 of you, if I remember correctly. The 4 of you, plus Orn and Doxia, and your little creature companion that you've saved from the previous battle with the jack-o'-wares. The small, somewhat orangey reptilian creature with the carapace-like helmed helmet that kind of grows along its head and backside, though smaller in stature than the one that you encountered the day before.
So have we had a long rest, or we're
You
just...
have.
Okay,
Yes.
good. I just wanted to know.
You had. And I believe, I do not recall this, whether it was done before or you said you were going to do after, but Azazel was planning on identifying all the mysterious items that were encountered and retrieved from days prior and now pilfered from this den.
Mm-hmm.
And came across a bunch of lovely little useful items for them to use or not use.
I did that.
Yep, I got the list.
Perfect. Even though time has passed, you've all rested up and you feel a little bit better than being battered from the night before, it's still fairly dark in this den. There is no open light source unless you're coming from the cave entrance. But you hear the slight shuffling in the entranceway on the lower level platform where you had chained up your lowly survivor, mercenary. You hear a few groans. No words per se, but shuffling a chain in movement. But what do the rest of you like to do now?
I'm gonna divvy up some of the goodies. We don't have to roleplay through all this, but I'm gonna give 1 potion of Hill Giant Strength each to Trovik and Zoril, because they're the big muscly guys. I'll hold on to the magic circle spell scroll with intentions of transcribing it into my spellbook later. The Dust of Disappearance and the Filter of Love, I'll go ahead and give those both to Lark for fun. I'll hold on to the Jug of Alchemy. Does anyone want the Tankard of Sobriety? I'll give Trovic the Tankard of Sobriety. And then I'm going to hold on to the Potion of Greater Healing myself, just because if someone else needs it, I'm pretty mobile, and Lark has plenty of other healing stuffs. So...
Okay, so what was that? Dust of...
Dust of Disappearance.
Okay, I'm going to have to look at that and see if I can find it
Just
on the inventory.
added my tankard of
I'm not
Yep.
drunk. You got it, big guy.
What does he do?
That's a great question. Let me consult my mind.
DM?
It essentially, no matter what sort of alcohol you put into it, you cannot get drunk from drinking it.
Yeah, that.
It's pretty crazy.
In case you ever feel like you're about to lose a drinking contest and you just want to mess with someone.
Oh man. I can think of at least numbers. How many
proud of
times
you.
I would use of that.
Proud of you. You're thinking of numbers. That's great. That's really great. Okay. So, should we just hop right into the interrogation, or should we just, relax and enjoy a nice breakfast for a little while?
Well, I can get a breakfast going. I'm gonna leave any interrogation to you folks.
That's
I
fair.
think that
That's
we
not
can
my thing.
accomplish both at the same time.
What, breakfast
You're
and
right.
interrogation?
Oh, yes.
I mean, Azazel is probably going to lead the interrogation, and I entrust you to spearhead the breakfast.
That is true. Yes. Okay.
Um,
I'll get working on that.
I can help you. I'm not very good with whatever it is they're gonna do. I don't quite understand it, but I think I can help you make breakfast.
Sure. I
Okay.
can always use an extra hands.
It sounds like great adventure for you, little flower.
It's
it's just
making
breakfast.
pancakes.
What are pancakes?
What
I'll
the-
show you.
Okay. Doxia happily joins Lark in preparing pancakes for the first time, whereas Orn is still kind of
Scrambled eggs.
even better. Orn is kind of like slowly rousing a little bit next to this reptilian creature, and seem to just kind of watching everyone and just kind
Hey,
of
Orn.
taking it easy, as Orn does.
I pet Orn on head. You did very, very good in battle yesterday.
I did. Almost died.
Yeah, that was bad. That was very bad. You gave Trovic heart attack, but you got back up. It's part of being great warrior.
So,
Maybe think about getting weapons sometime. I don't know. It's just idea.
Weapon. She pulls out her Morning Star.
Oh yeah, that thing. Why you never use that?
more fun to claw people. I prefer to bite.
Trovic think the big sticky pointy thing you have there looks more effective than claws on hand. I'm just... It is what Little Flower teach me is observe patience.
don't get it.
It is when I
What people?
Trovik see and say what. Never mind.
Okay.
I'll stroll over to the kitchen. Hello. Trovik want to thank you for coming to rescue and saving family of great warriors.
Well, you helped me get out of here, so, turnabout's fair play. Thank you.
The irony of being right back where you started.
Yeah. At least I'm familiar with it.
Yes. Trovik owe you many thanks, and you can't have it, but if my ex is at your begging call.
I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I think it's a good thing, so thank you.
Also, no meat for Trovik, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, bye. And I go.
She's making a mental note of what people like and eat. This is like constant for her. Yes.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna go and talk to our little guest. Zorl, do you want to join? Anyone else want to kind of get a part of this?
Yes, I will assist you.
I will
Tell me, last time you
look mad.
do this, I know that you used magic to influence their minds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that your words will help more in this instance, or your mind?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't have a lot of good faith in my words. I really like using the magic. I think it really helps.
Well, yes, of course you're going to use the magic, but you do have to talk. So, why don't I help with that like I'd done before? I'll go ahead and enhance your charisma.
Whoa. Okay. Oh, that does
With,
feel nice.
Eagle's Splendor advantage on charisma checks, if you make them.
Wow.
Feel this warming sensation and a sudden boost of confidence.
Shining, shimmering splendor. Wow, look at that.
That is very
Whole new world.
and much
You've
more
had-
powerful. But just to remind people, when we are doing things in the moment, I have guidance, and I can just like touch someone's shoulder and give them an extra little bit.
I also have
But-
that.
Yeah, it's highly useful, and it's a cantrip, so
Mhm.
we should use it.
Trovik smell competition.
Doesn't have to be me.
Okay.
I enhance your enhancing abilities.
I'll enhance your enhancement. That's enhancing my enhancement of your enhancement. Now we're enhanced.
I just
I
forget.
was once an enhancer,
So-
Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm somewhat of an enhancer myself. I'm gonna start walking my way to the prisoner, and as we're walking over, I'm gonna take out a little it's a snake tongue that has essentially been like petrified in a brick made out of like honeycomb and sweet oil, and I'm just gonna like put it between my lips and just kind of start sucking on it as we approach our esteemed guest.
Ah, your
Yes,
chew
this-
stick.
Is it just the two of you, or Trovik, are you
I will
joining them
assist.
as well?
But
Okay, so the three of
no-
you.
Yeah, no talkie, just intimidating.
All right, fair enough. The three of you leave essentially the barracks, the lunchroom, whatever you prefer to call it, area, and head out of this small little opening and head down the rocky makeshift staircase that has been carved into the side of this 20-foot drop, and go down into the open, more lower base where you can see a little bit of the morning light peering through the entrance of this cave, and you can see it kind of shines a little bit on this individual. Their clothes are a little bit torn, battered. He looks very rough. You all did a number to him. This is the half-elven individual. Male, short, kind of reddish-brown hair. Most of the armor or the leather that they were wearing has been destroyed, but still kind of attached and sitting and worn. He's lying there, kind of like looking over towards the entranceway, and then shifts his head over to the three of you approaching, kind of just lying there slack. He's maybe moved in a different spot from where you left him, though still chained to the wall.
Morning, sunshine. How you doing?
Could it be better?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, we're getting ready for some breakfast. I'd say we could give you a plate, but before that, and then I place the snake tongue back in my mouth, I suggest you answer our questions with the full and complete truth until I say we're done here, and I cast suggestion on him. That's a wisdom saving throw.
That is a total of 21.
Oh.
I rolled a natural 20.
Bruh.
Huh.
I'm assuming that does not. I'm assuming that beats your DC.
Yeah, you know what? Just by a hair.
On his
He
chin,
has
chin,
this
chin.
this tired, blank look on your face, as if waiting for more.
Okay, feeling
And
the
you can-
spell not take. I'm trying to save face. I'm gonna try to immediately recover and say, so, do you think you can maybe do that and answer our questions real nice and truthful, and then we'll get you a nice plate of breakfast and we'll send you on your merry way.
Answer me one question before I answer any of yours.
Oh, sure.
Do you plan to kill me regardless of whatever I answer, or are you going to let me live?
I have absolutely no intention of killing someone who can't defend themselves and who is currently a prisoner. I think not only is it inhumane, it's kind of a dick move, if I'm being honest.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Awesome. At advantage.
At
Yeah,
advantage.
you have advantage. Yeah, it works.
Yes.
Persuasion. Advantage, please. It didn't roll with advantage for me. Okay. 18.
18.
Nice.
Just enough. Oh, it's not. Yeah, I'm rolling high. But he looks at you, takes a deep breath, and seems to almost relax ever so slightly. All right. What do you want to know?
Right. So, I guess just the first most basic question is, how much are you aware of whatever plan you're a part of? You know, the sort of, is the cog in the machine aware of what the machine is, sort of thing? You know, the end game, what the means are of this.
If you're asking my purpose and all this, we were merely hired mercenaries. Escort our provider. I don't know a name. No name was ever given. But she paid us well. Just help out collecting a bunch of animals whenever they came here to get them from the Jackawares. That's about it. That's all I know, at least.
Is he being truthful about very specifically the mercenary with very little association?
Make an insight check.
18.
18. He seems too exhausted to really want to fight back or resist. And you can tell right away from the initial slight relaxation in his body that he doesn't care. As long he takes your word for what it's worth, and so long as he gets out alive, he's indifferent.
Yeah,
So there is a truth to his words.
That sounds about right. That whatever entity this is, they seem to be wanting to keep hire freelancer after freelancer after freelancer because a lot harder to leave a paper trail when in those cases, but that also helps. I guess that also helps them keep information to a very limited few. And just to be clear, when you're talking about the person who hired you, you're talking about the big lady with the face tattoos. That's her.
Yeah, the Goliath woman.
Yeah. You didn't get a name on her?
She never gave us one.
No. Fair. Do you normally do kind of hush work, people that like to be kept secret, or do you just sort of do whatever pays the bills?
More the latter. Sometimes you just whoever's willing to pay whatever the work is, provided it's nothing too crazy. But seemed like a simple enough job. Just escort her to pick up a bunch of, well, pets, I would assume. Whatever she used them for, whether she sold them, kept them, I have no idea. Just brought them back to her place.
Can Trovik do insight check for the part where he did not catch name of tattooed face lady?
Sure, make an insight check.
Okay. Oof. 19.
19? Yes, this individual does seem to be... His words, though soft-spoken and tired sounding, they don't falter at certain points. They kind of just come out as though, yeah, you want to know this? This is all I know. There's no real inclination of him being devious or any sort of twitches or other sort of physical manipulation, we'll say.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, they really tried to keep you in the dark. Any chance you knew where you were taking these animals, or
some sort of I don't know, she was a bit of a nature, something to do with nature. What's the word I'm looking for? Imbued with it. Some sort of grove surrounded by trees. Various pinks and purple flowers. I can't recall what they are. I think one of my, well, kind of looks out. I think he burned the bodies of my companions, but we had some sort of note on where to meet her, roughly the exact location. I remember it being east of the plated roadway somewhere. Kind of sticks out a bit. There's a bit of a pond. A large pond. We should bring the animals there, and she takes them into some sort of underground den and sends us off. Calls us when we need to be called.
In this place, are there more of you?
No, there was just the four of us. Well, just me now. If she hired other mercenaries or other individuals, that I don't know.
And so I'm assuming the turnaround between you lot coming here to pick up creatures and then going over to that place, I'm assuming the turnaround for that was pretty quick?
About every 5 days or so.
Okay. So, hypothetically, she could have time to restaff if she needed to. I guess not really a question to help with information. Did we, rob you of a payday? I'd feel bad if we totally fucked up your payroll.
Somewhat. I mean, it comes with the job when your life is on the line. But I'm alive still. I can always find more work.
Yeah.
Can't find, well, maybe more friends per se, but
Ooh, you have friends.
it'll be a while. I did. And you all killed them all.
Yeah.
Those were friends.
Yeah?
Friends don't leave you to just die like this. Even though, you know, we slaughtered them all, but they would have made a better decision.
It's a dangerous line of work, Trovic. I mean, it happens.
What about family?
He looks at you. What about family?
Do you have mama and papa?
Yes.
And what about little ones? Do you have little ones of your own?
He looks at you, Azazel, somewhat confused with the look on his face. Is this
I
really
look at
important?
Azazel like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just...
Is this important? What do you need to know about this?
I mean,
Just
we don't, but I mean, you know, if you
I
if you're
kind of
having
like
issues
him.
and you need to, if you're having issues, you
Is
need
all
to
I'm
talk
saying.
about, you know,
If-
we're all ears right now.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, all right, that's fair. Well, personally, I don't want to keep grilling you for questions because, frankly, I don't know if there's too much more about your employer you can tell us. We're not even...
All I know is she's a Goliath woman. Don't know her name. Has some tattoos on her head. Look like a crown. Can do magic that makes plants grow and things like that. And has a fascination with collecting an assortment of animals. For what reasons? You got me.
Yeah, that's fair.
So whatever
So-
personal beef you have with her, might have to ask her yourself. Maybe she'll talk to you, maybe she won't.
No,
I
Easy
really
on
doubt it.
the beef.
Oh, I forgot the most important question. Oh, silly me. What was your name?
Arvin.
Where's...
Harvin?
Arvin. A-R-V-I-N.
Yeah.
Arvin.
And his two other companions were Simon and Theodore.
Arvin!
He killed Dave. Anyway,
Oh,
Right.
Arvin.
his story about
Zoral,
magic is-
Trovic, are you guys satisfied with the questions?
I got to admit, I kinda like him.
I'm satisfied.
Well,
We-
Arvin, do you want to join us for breakfast?
There's plenty.
There's plenty.
He's- I might take it to go.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, understandable. Understandable. I'll start unchaining him.
Yeah, you easily enough you unchain his wrists. He kind of slowly gets up, still somewhat cautious of you all, though there isn't a lot of energy to him. Right, well. He looks at himself. Do you have any, strange thing to ask, but do you have any spare equipment? Or at least my weapons back?
Yeah, did we like when we took all their stuff? Did we like put it in a big pile?
I know you all put all the bodies in a big pile to burn, whether or not you derobe them of their equipment and armor.
Well, yeah, we at least would have taken this guy's equipment before burning him, or before tying him up. Oops. So I'm assuming we would have held on to that. I
Yeah.
would have at least held on to it.
We stacked the equipment neatly, but we let the bodies hit the floor.
Well, yes, you can say that you've kind of set that all aside.
But-
There is other assortments of weapons and clothing that were in the various barrels, sacks, and crates that the Jaguars had. So
Yeah. So we'll let him. We'll show him his stuff. We'll walk him through the crates. Have him try on outfits to an '80s song while we all go no, not that one. No, not that one. Yeah, that one.
But we gotta do the
montage.
Pew pew pew.
he literally takes
Arvin got his groove back.
Jeez.
He literally takes his mace, his heavy crossbow, some bolts, maybe an extra dagger and a sword for good measure, and just some almost like a large cloak to kind of help cover from the sun and some of his destroyed armor, but nothing more than that.
Sure.
Lark will put together a to-go package for
In a
him.
brown bag with
doggy
a
bag.
one single staple.
Yes.
Yeah, he.
And she'll hand this to him. There you go. Better life choices.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Don't forget to tip your barista.
Takes the goodie bag of breakfast, kind of starts to walk away without a word.
He's very confused.
I'll walk you out. It's all right. I'll walk you at least to the entrance.
I have never gotten my ass kicked by such nicer people.
He doesn't say a word. He's just like,
When
you
when
can tell
I-
this is, I just want to leave.
When I get to the entrance with him, I'm gonna take out a little bag with
Some weed.
with 18 platinum in it, and I'll hand it to him. And
he looks a little surprised.
18 platinum?
listen, I'm sorry we screwed you out of what I'm assuming is a pretty big payoff. It's not much, probably, compared to whatever she was offering, but you know, I hope this helps. And if I don't want to tell you how to use it, but you know, if you maybe wanted to take some extra and help out the family of your friends, I do feel really awful about that, but you know,
He said
if it
it's,
helps.
it does, believe me. I wasn't expecting this much generosity from my captors and combatants, but thank you. Oddly enough.
Tell your friends.
And he kind of he takes the money, kind of puts it aside, and then just continues walking out into the open grassy area and starts heading what seems to be eastward.
Really hope he doesn't run into that big lizard.
Or sorry, not eastward, westward.
And then I'll go back and have breakfast with my friends.
All right.
In-
Strange.
Every time I hear friends now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Twins.
oh, jeez. Yeah, you join the rest of the crew in the upper.
There's eggs. There's
layer.
bacon cooked in a separate pan.
Oh man,
Yo.
I skipped dinner too.
You don't cook your eggs
And
in
there's-
bacon grease?
Well, no, because one of us is a vegetarian.
Yeah. It's like how Burger King cooks their Impossible Whoppers on the same grill as their regular
know.
Whoppers. So they're not really like,
They're not really vegetarian.
and that's why
yes.
they taste like a regular Whopper.
It's
Because they're
true.
cooked in Whopper grease.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
totally
So
true.
if you're a
But yes.
vegetarian, don't
But
have an
she's
Impossible
thinking
Whopper.
of these things.
Lark,
There
more
is
considerate
bacon
than
for
Burger
everyone
King.
else,
Don't
and
eat
there
at
are
Burger
scrambled
King.
eggs, and there are pancakes with
Gross.
chocolate
Yo.
chips.
Gross.
I ate dinner like maybe an hour and a half ago. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And there's
But anyway.
coffee. There is coffee.
Ash browns.
Toxia kind of runs over with like a plate of somewhat
but-
misshapen pancakes that she herself attempted. She maybe got
That's
like
fine.
one of them right.
They taste the same. They don't have to look beautiful. And she's
Look,
very well done. You did really good.
I made myself pancakes for the first time. It's just
Well
dough and well, it's water and flour and eggs. And,
done. A
It's so
little bit of
simple.
sugar.
yeah, a lot of sugar.
Oh, and the chocolate chips, of course. Can't forget the chocolate chips.
I know I ate a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I do that too.
Wait.
Breakfast is had.
Breakfast is had. You all sit there. Orin looks oddly at some of the items. Goes for like the eggs and the bacon. Is unreally sure of the pancakes per se, though. Attempts at trying them, kind of finds them a bit odd. It seems Orin has never really had pancakes before and doesn't really eat anything other than fish or meat.
That's okay.
What kind of syrup and or toppings do we have for these pancakes?
This is getting too serious.
Probably there's probably berries around here.
Yo,
I think that's
boysenberry.
Boysenberry sauce.
You know what? There might be jam.
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of assorted fruits that you could turn into jams.
Yes.
Fruit preserves on my pancakes. That's my jam.
Sure. There you go.
Waiting for it.
Oh, jeez. A very wonderful and luscious breakfast is had, and your interrogatee has now vacated.
Red man, what the...
One of the other things that she's probably been doing while she's been cooking breakfast, along with everything that she's making, is she's been making like trail bars, so that they're a little easier to carry with us. There's probably like cured meat bars and stuff like that as well, but like trail bars, like a little bit of chocolate chips or oats or
you essentially made rations.
Yeah, basically, but they're really good rations. We're not talking about
the dried jerky or
or
there
dried
probably
fruit.
Is
dried jerky, but yeah, she's been looking at getting stuff that we can bring with us, like that would preserve.
Cool.
Lark, how did you get so good at cooking? This is amazing.
Practice. I really like cooking and baking, and it makes people happy.
Did you become a good cook before you started living in a cave or after?
Oh, before. It was not my intention to live in this cave. I was in here for about a month, and I think the reason they kept me alive was because I was cooking for them.
How did that happen, by the way? Like, you were just captured, and then they were like, "Oh, killer," and you're like, "Do you want cookies?" Or, I shouldn't eat them awful. That's disrespectful.
Where did you come from?
It was kind of like that, actually. Yes, I was trying to get to another village, and I was interrupted, and I basically proved my worth by cooking.
It's a needed skill.
I don't think they'd had a home cooked meal in a really long time. So at least they died happy.
Yeah.
Is Hazel, you were asking the L.O.R.E a question, I believe.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to know, where do you come from, and then follow-up question, where do you go, and then follow-up question, where do you come from?
Larky Eye Joe. That's right.
Cookie Eye Joe.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess we're kind of curious where you came from and what exactly it is you were wanting to do. Was it just like a vacation trip that you got captured on, or do you have like some sort of you seem to have magic. Do you have like some sort of grand quest? Is that a thing?
No, not really. No grand quest. I'm actually from the Ramlo farmlands. I was at a temple of Chantia there, and I was on my way to another temple, just in the nearest, wherever I could find one, nearest village, town, and I got waylaid, unluckily.
What is waylaid?
Captured.
Oh, that is much worse than what I thought.
I was about to say Shanghaied, and I was like, I don't think that's an expression. Shanghai doesn't exist here.
Though I did not just
I
get
guess
laid.
I'm just lucky that I actually got to prove my worth before they decided to kill me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a stroke of luck.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like I said, I don't think they'd had good cooking. Like, ever.
Yeah, I believe it. I really do. So, anyway, main point. Now that you're, freed, and you kind of are really good at keeping people from being dead, do you want to, finish up this whole thing we're doing? I should probably explain. And I explain in depth our whole adventure to this point.
Do you party?
Not in depth. I give a brief overview.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
How are you?
It's now lunchtime.
You know, I'm doing my job. So
Okay.
when they have on a job application additional duties as assigned, that's what this is.
Okay, I see.
I
As
thought
assigned.
yeah,
Okay.
as assigned. It's
Well, I guess I'm kind of in the same boat then.
yeah, you know, you sort of you take what comes up and it just sort of happens, and that's where we are. Didn't expect to find such a weird underground homunculus ring, but here we are.
This is a very strange thing, but you know, I like to finish what I start. So if you guys are okay with it, then I kind of like you. I wouldn't mind continuing, you know, doing my best to keep you alive.
We would appreciate that a lot. Zorl, do you have an opinion?
No.
All right.
Well, you
I
didn't
am
say...
alive because of her. She can stay if she wants to.
I appreciate that.
He can leave the jackals behind.
Yes.
We're not doing
That I was
that.
intending on
No.
doing anyway.
No offense of mine.
You already did that one.
Did I? Oh, shoot.
That was episode 4.
Oh, man.
I mean, stop.
I need to get better jokes. Yo, remember when there was a currency between silver and gold that no one uses?
That was crazy.
Crazy.
Oh,
So, we know
Can we
that
play
they're
D&D
heading.
now?
We know that we can head off the leader at
We're doing it.
the what's it called, the Lilac Grove. The Lilac Grove. We know that, according to our new friend Arvin, that she'll be there in approximately 5 days, maybe. It's about a half day from here. Do we just want to go there now and like hang out? I kind of got a spell scroll that I'd really want to write in my book, but I don't have the magic ink that I need for it. That's kind of a thing.
Where do we need to go?
How do you make magic ink?
I don't know how to make it. I've only been taught how to buy it. And I
Where
don't
could you
know.
buy it?
It seems like useless skill.
When we were going through Boemar at all, would I have picked up on any place where I could have bought ink? Magic ink for my spell book? Because that place doesn't necessarily strike me as a player as a place that would have that, but I don't know.
It's a possibility. Though it's mostly a hunting town, they have a lot of pelts and meat and things like that. You did see there, through various vendors that are lined up along the hunter's procession, they sold a lot of assortment of items and goods. It just, you'd have, for something like that, it's a little different, that they don't normally, well, I wouldn't say they don't normally. It comes across as a bit of a rarity, let's say, for a place like that, though it's not impossible to find.
Right.
You could find it almost anywhere. You just have to know where to look.
Okay, so thinking about how I'm really smart and know where to look, I'm going to pull out the map, and from where we are, a half day east, the exact location of that Lilac Grove, any settlements in that area that I know of that I think, or am pretty sure, I would be able to get supplies from.
Fair question.
I would say, looking at the map itself, Talantis, the very central region of it, is unmarked and open territory. No one has staked a claim of any kind in terms of settlements. There are rumors that individuals that go out into the Tierney open fields either find a way to live and survive there on their own or are never heard of again. It can go either way. But in terms of all the settlements within the region itself, They all are built along the plated roadway that kind of U all the way around the province itself. So directly west of your location, or where you believe to be, is Boamar. Then you would follow the plated roadway south to Semyaza, and then follow that further south to the Ramnel farmlands. And then from there, it would go to somewhat southeastward to Caroline, and then almost kind of like U-boat and go back up north to Omnora, which is just on the outskirts of the forested region, unclaimed, on the far eastern side of the country. Just slightly south of the Scarlet Mountains, which kind of cut through a good chunk of the northern region into the Thurkona Timberlands and into the northern province of Empyrean.
I sure wish that I either drew that out or had like an actual map. Oops.
I used to have one, and I have to make a new one. So
it's all good. I understand. So,
but I do remember where, in my head at least, where everything is.
Right. I'm a very visual person. So, if I could oh no, I broke the little thingy on my mechanical pencil. Oh, that derailed my whole train of thought.
But essentially, from looking at the map itself, if you wanted to find any sort of assortment of supplies, you could visit any settlement.
Okay.
Though some are a little bit more, might be a little bit more scarce in terms of specific items, or they might be more expensive because they are more sought after or rarely imported.
Right.
Could I have known where there's another temple to Shantaea? Because I wonder if a place that has that kind of a temple would be a little more populated.
Granted, a lot of settlements have various sorts of temples or shrines or places of worship to various assortment of gods and deities. It is possible that any settlement per se could have a temple to Shantaea. Though with Shantaea themselves and what they thrive to evoke, being nature and growth and agriculture, you have a better idea that there might be one in Omnora.
Okay, how far away is that?
Omnora from your location, if you were to follow the plated roadway, it would take you maybe a week and a half. Almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
If you were to possibly just cut through the Tournay open fields and go directly towards it, it might be quicker, maybe a few days at most. However, with the uncertainty of what's actually in the Tournay open fields, as they are unmarked and undiscovered, it could take you twice as long, for all you know.
Okay, so in other words, never mind.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you guys, but I figure we have less than 5 days, so...
Take that ping off the map.
That's the trickiest thing, is we don't really know. It's 5 days when it's scheduled correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But we sort of threw a little bit of a wrench in the plan.
She might decide to go somewhere else entirely.
I don't think about that, but she might push up her timetable a little bit, especially if she thinks we're on to her.
True. Very true. Is there something along the road? Is there another settlement on the way?
The closest settlement would be Boamar. If this map is correct, we can go back there to gather supplies.
Yeah, I think regardless, we have some coin. Getting supplies is going to be pretty essential. So I think that's a good call to make. And then if they have the supplies that I need to copy this spell, that's even better, because this is a pretty useful spell. And so I think that's a good plan for now, and we should probably get moving as soon as we can.
Yes.
Sure.
Trollic want new shiny metal on X. something that will kill Jekyll.
Oh, you want
Jack-
something silver-plated?
Yes.
Jackal where?
Jekyll wears. Yes.
Jackals were there, but now they're
There.
not.
Jekyll's no.
I need silver.
Confusing Trovik.
Silver and gold.
So Lark will start to gather supplies and whatever food she'd made, etc., etc., and just get it into her backpack and get herself ready to leave. And she'll help the little one as well.
Yep.
And look after the little lizard pet
Okay.
guy. Make sure he's fed,
I
etc.
really hope he does well around people.
This the little creature itself seems to be, though it can sometimes understand, at least in the few interactions you've all had it with it, it somewhat is content. You've fed it, you haven't necessarily harmed it further, though you've been taking care of it, feeding it, and it's somewhat been playful. I use that word loosely with Orn.
I think that Orn may be the best caretaker and companion to this creature, given the similarities.
Yeah,
So,
they definitely are closer to speaking than any of us are with it.
Yes.
yes.
And their bathroom habits. Wait, who said that?
Is that what I sound like? How insulting.
So, what's your first step as you essentially gather whatever supplies here you so choose? Doxia actually decides to get rid of the old tabard that she was wearing when she was first part of the traveling circus, and actually decides to kind of figure out and takes like a piece of some clothing and try, though most of it is a little too big for her, she kind of makes it work by tying it up, almost like how I see sometimes with younger women. They tend to tie up their shirts, the really baggy shirts, with like their hair ties.
Yeah.
So, it's similar things like that, and kind of like rolls up the sleeves, ties it up using like a small piece of rope or string.
Is this
kind of let her fit her better?
Fit her better?
Fit her better.
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 Hey, have you tried the new Fetter Better? So like, are we camping out or are we bolting? Like, are we leaving?
We're bolting. It's still
All right.
mid-morning.
It's first thing in the morning. It would take you equally about a day and a half to get back to Boamar, and then from there, I was looking right now, and I did find an older map of the area. It would take you about, maybe, if I remember correctly, it would take you 2 days to get to Semyaza, and then about 2.5 to get to the Ramla farmlands.
Okay.
And then from there, it's just a big U.
All right.
I don't need to go home.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of like the consecutive settlements following the plated roadway.
Okay.
I will ask Lark if there is any silver in here. Can you give to Trovik?
Of what your money is, you mean?
No, and I just like pointing around to the kitchen, like, because Chris knows silverware, kitchen.
Okay, but is any of it actually silver? I don't.
That's
like,
what
it's probably.
he's. I don't know. He's
Could
just,
be iron. I don't know.
Probably not.
What do they
but-
use
terms
for
of-
Steel alloy.
Oh yeah.
It would be an assortment of steel,
He's just
different
like,
types of steel.
whatever.
Yeah, none of this is silver. Yeah, but you
bummer.
have some silver. Like I'll point it out in the money that he has.
Oh.
Like this is silver.
Oh, well, then we put
I
this
think
on.
that one's an electrum.
No, Electrum doesn't exist.
Oh.
It's fake. It's made
There's
up.
no such thing.
Yeah, they stopped making them because it cost the mint 2 electrum to make 1 electrum. It was crazy.
Trovik will make mental note of what the silver coin looked like,
Yeah.
and when we get to a different place, we'll make separate bag.
Well, we
for
have bags
this.
here. There's definitely bags here.
Grab extra bag,
Yeah,
put
she
in
can
other bag
Separate it.
to have bag of bags, and then help with Little Flower in addressing her new armor wares.
She doesn't. Well, there isn't any armor per se. The Jack-o'-wares didn't have any sort of leather or studded leather or splint or chainmail or anything like that. Just a series of different clothes, an assortment of clothes, whether it be robes, cloaks, pants.
Is he scissorizing? Ew. No, I don't deal with that. Mm-mm.
She just kind of she grabs like a small pair of pants and rolls up the bottoms a little bit so they almost look like rolled up capris per se. A bigger, more kind of what looks like more of like an open button down shirt. She buttons it up most of it, but then it is because it is a lot bigger. She kind of like ties it on the side or on the back using like a piece of string, rolls up the sleeves a little bit, then kind of with like a few leather straps and pieces that she takes from other assorted weapons. She fastens them on herself so that she actually has a place to put her dagger, and she actually takes like another two.
Yeah, Trovik is like half naked, so Trovik unimpressed, not like not unimpressed, impressed, just uninterested. However,
ingenuity
Chris the
craftsmanship.
player loves accessorizing and is like, oh, me loves it.
Yeah, she looks a little haphazardly dressed, but she's like, it works. At least I can hold everything now, and it doesn't look like I'm wearing like an old piece of, clothing that's been torn and shredded.
Okay. Well, Trovik was way off in expectations of what he was going to help you with next then. So let's
That's okay.
go.
This one I can do myself.
Trovik, be by your side as we travel. Okay.
Okay. All right. So the group, you all begin to head back west to Boamar.
To Boamar!
All right. I will say, well, you do have a map, and I'll say whoever's leading the party, make a survival check for me to see if you can follow your old trail along with following the map. But I'll give it to you with advantage.
Got +4.
Nature guy,
Nature.
do you want to lead us on the trail we blaze?
I will assist you.
If you would like. I
That'd
can
be
lead
great.
us back.
That would be great.
Yes. I will assist.
Said advantage?
Jesus, wow.
That is correct.
Natural 20.
We haven't had one of those in a while.
Well, I started off the round by rolling a natural 20.
No, you didn't.
No, your
No,
natural 20s don't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah, those are bad natural 20s.
We're gaslighting your natural 20.
So, okay, so natural 20 for a total of
26.
A lot.
26. Okay, yeah. You find you find this trail that you initially followed, and along with conversing, comparing it with the map itself, you make it back in almost record time. It takes you maybe just over a day, as opposed to nearly the 2 that you had. Seemingly kind of just quickly trailing there, camping for the night, which went unabated. It was still somewhat quiet as it once was when you first headed eastward in.
So I didn't get to do this last time, but I do now have Liamon's tiny hut. So I would ritual cast that up, and boom, and we have a little shelter for the night.
Those.
Wow.
It
I
always
like you.
stays a nice, temperate. What temperature do you guys like your
In
living
Fahrenheit
space to be in?
or in Canadian?
I can make either
No,
work
no,
if
no.
you really
It's
make
Fahrenheit or the rest of the world.
Yeah,
Chris.
I know. It's true.
The proper temperature or Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
I think the only thing about Liamon's tiny hut is it could either fit like Azazel, Lark, and Orn, or Trovik and Zoro.
I like the second option.
It could fit like 6 of us, I think.
Shelter your
Come on,
cleric.
Zoro. We will have very warm, comfortable arm
Anyway,
wrestling contest.
Just saying.
the inside is a nice 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21-ish centigrade. I think that's right. I don't know.
Centipede.
I did that in my head.
You said it wrong.
Brown.
Centigrade.
Centigrade or Celsius. It's called both, folks. Come on.
Calculus.
Anyway,
32 degrees
it's
Celsius.
a bit cramped because of some of your larger companions, but it's not uncomfortable.
It's cozy.
That it wouldn't fit all of you.
Okay, I'm somewhere else in my head. Sorry.
Okay.
I too was an HVAC tech, Spider-Man.
I
But-
keep my room at 20 degrees centigrade, Spider-Man.
Okay. Okay. But you all make it back after your next long rest and find yourself back in Bolmar, the entryway to the hunter's procession, where the large oak tree sits, adorned with various assorted talismans, just at the entryway. And you can see that it's as it was previously. It's quiet, though the mundane sounds of footfalls, wagon movement, even the subtle barks of dogs can be heard, but subtle whispers among the people.
You think they'll notice that we're back?
Have I been here before? It's okay if not. I'm just curious.
I'm curious too. I'm gonna roll on it.
Okay.
Look over at
How much
Trivik
traveling?
and
I'm gonna say
to
yes.
Yeah?
Azazel, yes.
been here once
I think
before.
they will know.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, she looks up at Zoro. Yeah, you're a little memorable.
Who, me?
Both of you. Actually,
It is-
all of you.
What are you talking? I look total. I blend into a crowd.
You're
Look,
bright
Mike.
red.
Do you know
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, yeah, red man, you are so bright red. As I
Yeah.
nod my bright red head.
You were definitely a strange group of assorted humanoids to enter the town, though it doesn't seem like most people are paying mind to you entering in. Obviously, a few kind of avert their gaze and see you approach, but take no mind. You didn't make such a loud entrance as you did the first time.
Ah, yes. But this time we have lizard person with baby lizard thing.
Baby dragon.
Yes.
Baby dragon.
As you head down the hunter's procession past the oak tree, Zoro, you hear that soft voice kind of seemingly coming from nowhere every time you've been maneuvering through this village. Welcome back safely. And that's about it. Other than that, you still hear the regular abundant sounds, lack thereof, in the village itself.
Zoro heard that from a
Only-
whispering voice?
Only Zoro heard
Yeah,
that.
Zoro. Yeah. Cool. I like it. He's got a follower.
He hears the
back.
trees.
Safe.
Yo, Zoro's on Twitch. That's my life story. One follower.
So you have all arrived.
Okay.
You have all arrived back in Boamar. What would you like to do while you were here?
I want to look for some magical inks to copy this spell into my spell book.
All right, make an investigation check for me.
Yeah, I'm
There are
really good
a
at
varied assortment of stalls and vendors situated along both sides of the hunter's procession that run through this entire village.
Nice. 21.
If the
21.
money has been divvied out already, then Trovik will ask Little Flower to guide him to a weapon master. Or
All right.
man whom X-Men.
Okay, make
V
a
2.0.
It sounded like you said X-Men, and that made me really happy because I've been watching a lot of X-Men recently.
X-Men.
I am here to join the X-Men.
I am
thank you,
Colossus.
it takes you a bit of time, but wandering through, you eventually do come across someone who actually is selling an assortment of items that wizards may use, or magic users, let's say.
Okay.
Inks, papers, not an abundant stock, but it's there. How much are you looking for exactly?
So I need at least 150 gold's worth, but I have
materials.
I have a lot more money. How much does he have in terms of worth?
If I remember correctly, how that actually works for the wizard,
It's weird.
Wizard.
I would honestly peg it at maybe almost 200 gold's worth at most, and that's kind of like this is all they've got. So
I'll
there'd be
take
enough
it
for
all.
the whole 200 gold's worth.
Yes.
All right, you can mark 200 gold off, and you have enough to complete your transferring of the magic circle spell into your
Beautiful.
book.
That'll take me 3 hours tonight.
As for you, Trovik, Doxy is meandering around, looking feverishly to find someone, but doesn't even know whom to look for in the first place. And after maybe about a little while, Trovik, I'm sorry, I don't know who we have to find.
It is easy. Listen, put ears to
Okay.
and listen for hammering.
She listens. I don't hear hammering. I just hear, a bird. People walking. I don't know where to go. I'm sorry.
You know Trovik cannot read, right? Or write, correct? Right?
Yes.
Left.
So, look for sign with anvil or something.
Maybe we should get the others to help us.
Say weapons. Okay.
Let's go find the
Throw
others.
my what it was, axe in the dirt. Attention, ladies and gentle people. We are looking for great weapon master of X-Men.
Immediately, all these heads turn and look at.
We have many monies to spend on good weapons of upgrading. Yes. This is good, right? It is getting attention.
Is he yelling in the town? God!
We will find.
I start making my way.
Adventurers.
All of you can hear Trovik yelling from down the street.
Hey, hi, Trovik. I feel like we keep having this conversation
Hey,
about how
little
quiet
weird,
small town people don't necessarily like their quiet small towniness to be abruptly and shoutedly
Loud.
interrupted. Interrupted.
Who is the rude one then if they don't answer to Trovik?
Yeah, that's a really great philosophical question.
What
It
is
really
philosoph-
is.
Who is philosoph?
Philosophicles, he was a really smart dude
Okay.
who thought about a lot of cool things, and that's why we say philosophical.
Okay. Where is X-Men?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm gonna approach one of the townies that is like in the area, I guess, and hopefully not judging us too much.
Just me.
Easy enough to ask anyone around. It eventually, after some time, you speak to a couple of the locals. They send you to.
Don't
one of the
make me
local-
at everyone. I will do it.
At everyone, where
At everyone.
X-Man?
Where X-Men?
Oh, jeez. But they kind of guide you to one of the local blacksmiths there. This individual, dwarven male who kind of runs it, ruddy black beard and hair, all sweaty and whatnot and covered in like soot. he makes the most of the iron, a lot of the crossbow bolts, arrows, different assortment of steel-based weapons for many of the hunters throughout the village itself. So, you inquiring to get a new axe, he's easy enough to oblige.
Okay.
He kind of like, he has a couple on the wall that he shows you, and these are regular battle axes, great axes.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for? Something small, something, well, you're a big guy, maybe something a little bit bigger here?
You have weird accent. Trovik is looking for silver X like this.
A silvered weapon?
But made, yes, of that, yes. What you said.
Well, I don't normally stock silver as a material to use. I can do it. I have the molds for the axes. I just don't have the material.
Hey, wait, the cookie healer tell me that I have plenty of silver to make weapon, and I pour out my bag and I dump it all on the floor.
He's just like, you don't. Oh, all right. Well.
Did you call her the cookie healer?
Yeah. He's horrible with names.
That's like, my new moniker. I love it.
Time of crumble.
At the cookie healer.
7 p.m.
Okay, the cookie healer. Yes. Okay.
So for brevity's sake,
it's no longer a slice of cake.
What you want a silvered great axe?
Or hear me out. Okay, X-Men. Use this silver on floor to coat weapon in silver.
Two men should become X-Men.
It doesn't quite work like that, but I'd have to make you a new one. It's one thing if you want me to fix your axe for you, but to make a silvered one, I have to make it completely out of silver. Yeah, you can use your silver coins. Let me see.
And he kind of goes over, looks at the mold, kind of writes a few things down.
I would need about maybe, well, using silver coins, about maybe 70 pounds worth of silver coins.
I look at Little Flower. 70 pounds is.
Yeah, that's what? Maybe about.
Is that a big number?
Thinking off the top of my head.
Trovik know what pound is, but 70 sounds.
It's pretty much 70 silver.
70
if I did my math right, it's about 70 silver worth of silver coins as the material to make your great axe, a silvered great axe.
Is each coin a pound?
They are now.
No.
See, that's a lot.
See, I knew I wasn't quite sure. Let me see. 50 coin. If I remember correctly from the actual books, 50 coins equals 1 pound.
Jesus. Okay, so 70. That's a lot.
So 7 pounds.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Quick math. So sorry, I was mistaken. That's 350 silver.
Oh, okay.
I could do math, right?
I don't think
70 times 50. That's 3,500.
No. It would be 50 times 7 because it's only. He said it about 7 pounds.
7
worth.
pounds. I thought he said 70.
I thought he said 72.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
He
So
meant to say 7. That's even better. We're getting
If
down.
50 coins, so for straight math, if 50 coins equals 1 pound, he needs 7 pounds. So 70 times 50, that's 350 silver.
This is
3.17 kilograms.
It is like buying horse at stable. Price was way big, and now price not so big. 7 pounds sounds like okay. Do we spit? I mean, shake on it, or what do you?
There's no need for that.
Do I protect town?
If you have,
you give me axe for free. Yes.
What?
This is how I do. Is Trovik guardian of?
In a way, you're paying for it.
Little town
silver
of
coins.
Is Boomer, right? You town, Trovik will protect town. You give X. Yes, this is good. Yes.
Tell you what. Give me the 350 silver coins, unless you have some other silver items or material. I can use that to make the great axe. Throw in 5 gold, and we'll call it a deal.
I look at Little Flower. Does he still?
She kind of shrugs. She looks at the rest of you.
I don't know.
I don't think I'm there,
I
but
think Azazel might be.
There.
Yeah. Okay. I'm getting a sign of approval, Mr. Gentle X-Man. This is... yes, good. Shake him.
He looks and he's just like, rolls his eyes and shakes your hand.
Grip him Arnold Schwarzenegger style.
Okay,
Yes,
there,
good,
yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna take me.
You have strong shake for such tiny hands.
Well, I work with steel.
the
You are also very
blacksmith,
small.
There's nothing tiny about him.
Well, no, he is-
Anyways, it's gonna take. It's gonna take me a few hours. You might want to come back. Maybe maybe near the end of the day.
That sounds excellent.
And he kind of just, you give him this, okay, well, you dumped it all on the floor. He's just like, he's slowly picking it up in piles and putting it in like a tray or in a container off on the side.
I will help him pick up some of the silver, and while I'm doing so, I'll say, so I don't want to be too presumptuous on what you can and can't do. Do you perhaps have ways of like enchanting weapons? Is that a sort of thing you can do?
I'm not a magic user. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. You know, there's a place in town where that could happen. Like, if I can make my sword like a little bit, hit a little harder. You know, cut through some magic anomalies, that sort of
If
thing.
you're looking for someone to use magic to enhance your weapons, maybe talk to Merlit. She's kind of the big magic-y one of the village. She might know someone, or maybe she can do it herself. I'm not quite sure.
I'll do that then. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I pat Azazel on shoulder and I say, it's okay. Trovik can tell he does not have magic spirit belly.
So while that is taking place, Lark and Zorl, are there any things that you would like to do, say, or look for?
I'm going to sit down underneath one of the oak trees and meditate.
All right.
Nice.
Lark is going to find the temple in town, wherever that happens to be, and offer her services for any healing that might be needed for the day.
Okay.
She'll just help, like, you know, any little wounds or whatever. None of it needs magic, probably, but she's there to help.
Here in Bomar, you know that Sylvanas is a very respected and worshipped deity here, as he is the forest father, the father of all vegetation and whatnot. Though you do know that there are some that pay homage to Malar, the Beastmaster, though most people do it out of... they veneer him a little bit, only because it's respect of all the beasts that they themselves tend to hunt, as it's a big part of their village, as they respect it, both nature and all aspects of nature in itself. But there is a temple of Sylvanas that you could go to and assist in with the clergy there.
He wants to do. She's not really picky as to which temple it is, but this seems to be the biggest one, so this is probably where people come for healing if they really need it, and she'll lend a hand. And if that means she ends up sweeping floors or baking cookies, that's fine too.
I mean, at the mention of baking, being a good chef, cook, and baker, they gladly welcome you to their kitchen and be like, if there's something you want to cook up for some of the pastors, some of the prayer goers, by all means, you're more than welcome to. And they kind of like show you this stockade of different ingredients and whatnot. It's like, it's up to you. It's whatever you feel like making. We're more than welcome to.
Yeah, she so sure she will like bake up some fresh bread, so people have like bread and honey and bread and butter, honey, whatever, as they come in, and it probably smells really good. And like baking cookies, yeah, that's kind of her thing. So yeah.
I mean, there are a few individuals, like some of the hunters that do come back after about a day or two after being on their local hunt and whatnot. Some of them do suffer minor injuries and whatnot, and they come and some of them do pray and give thanks to Sylvanas and by proxy to L.O.R.E for the gracious hunt and being able to survive and come back another day. And smelling the wondrous goods that you're making, they tend to, some of them even linger a little bit longer to try and take a bit of whatever it is you're making.
L.O.R.E feeds everyone with love.
And it goes very much appreciated. As for you, Zorl, meditating under one of the trees, whether it be the Dentala or Juniper oak trees, you find this inner peace kind of burrowing inside, and it also comes from your outer shell, as you feel very in tune with nature in itself. You can feel the presence of the tree almost standing next to you and wanting to almost speak with you, but does not want to interrupt, wants you to enjoy the solace that is presented and given around here. And you just feel this almost wanting smile. And before we continue, as I see the time, we'll take a quick break. Get some actual cookies, maybe some water, bathroom break, and maybe even some breads, because bread's been mentioned a lot too.
My mom made a lot of Christmas cookies yesterday. I'm gonna have the cookie.
I'm jealous.
But don't go away. Go get yourself some chocolate chip cookies, some gingerbread cookies, some shortbread cookies, sugar cookies, whatever you tickles your fancy.
Bubblegum, shrimp fried shrimp.
Or
shrimp
dinner.
Souffle,
Seafood. I don't know. And we'll be right back.
Later, taters.
Whoa.
Hey, what happened to the stream? Where's the D&D?
Stay tuned, adventurers. We'll be right back.
Oh, I get it. Pee break.
Underneath my tree.
We're back.
Hey, the Santa Claus 2 is on. Isn't that crazy?
Oh boy. How much singing did people hear?
A good amount.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's what I was going for.
I like unmuted as soon as I heard him start. I was like, yeah, it's good. This is good.
All right.
And welcome back to our little show.
Double entertainment.
We have a bard.
We have, yes, our wizard is now a bard.
Surprise.
Isn't that
son,
crazy?
Toss a coin to your
Remember when I became a
wizard.
bard? Isn't that wild?
Toss a coin to your wizard.
Anyways, so last we left off, the group had returned to Boamar and separately decided to go make personal arrangements and look for a few supplies for a few of you. Azazel, you found what little magical ingredients required to transcribe your spells into your book. Trovik had hopefully enough silver to create a silvered great axe. L.O.R.E had joined the Temple of Sylvanas to provide a few baked goods and home-cooked meals that attracted a lot of the, we'll say, churchgoers into wanting to take a bite and try out some of her tasty meals, while offering and taking in some prayer and service. And Zorl took a moment to meditate under one of the dentala and juniper oak trees, in which he felt a warming presence just almost standing either over him, behind him, next to him, just smiling and wanting to discuss something, but letting him have his moment of peace. But if there's anything else anyone would like to do, the axe itself would take most of the day to complete, and you'd have to return by the end of the night. The rest of you can continue doing as you so please until that evening.
Zoril hears a little faint voice in his ear. Hey, remember when you guys fought all those bad guys? Oh, that was crazy.
That was crazy, right? I actually would like to at least talk with Merlet and see if she knows about being able to enchant my short sword.
Sure. It's not difficult to find Merlet. She does tend to wander to and from the edges of town, or from one end to the other, and she is the only centaur found in town. Oh, hello. Welcome back. I believe you had a safe travel if you come back in one piece.
Yeah, I mean, as safe as it could be, I guess. Listen, we're about to go off on another fairly dangerous sort of expedition in this, and I was wondering if you knew of any methods or any people around here that would be able to, say, enchant my weapon, make it, hit a little harder, make it sort of cut through some of the magical resistances that some creatures have.
That's a good question. Speak to maybe Xantem. He's a quirky little gnomish individual who lives on the more the middle side of the town, or the village. He might be able to provide a little bit of magical prowess to your sword. I don't know how much he would charge, though, but I'm assuming it's a service that he would provide.
Right. And I'll go pay him a visit then.
Of course. I also did want to mention, did you take care of the jackal-wares? Did you end up finding them?
Yep, we found them, and they're not going to be causing any more issues for the wildlife around here.
Oh, that's good. There are no more jackal-wares here, at least. That's always a positive. Unfortunately, in the process, the two that were incarcerated found a way to escape. We think they were maybe aided by someone.
That could be an issue.
It could be, but if you've removed the jackal-wares' threat from, well, their own place of respite, then I'm certain they were on their way back there. Hopefully they don't come looking for you or anyone else here, though I think we can handle just the two of them, if they do.
Of course, yeah. What else? Oh, right. Did my owl beat us here? Did my owl show up with like a letter? Was that?
Oh yes, and she kind of reaches into like a small pack that she has on her her hip. And she kind of like rummages through it. This one. Yes, I did receive it. It's still rolled up and sealed. I believe your little owl told me to hand it to one of your other companions that was here. Half-elf?
Yep, that's the one. If you could actually just hang on to that, since we're probably going to leave town here in the next day or two.
All right.
Just in case she comes by. We don't really know where she went. She just kind of up and disappeared on us, but, she seems like the one to retrace her steps, so she might be back here.
I haven't... Yes, strange. I haven't heard where she's gone. I haven't seen her either. She might have slipped past the watchful eye of the trees. It's
Maybe
possible.
So, yeah.
All right. If I do see her, I will pass along the message.
Thank you. And did my owl say that he was gonna fly back out and meet us, or is he?
I do believe he is hanging around the trees somewhere. I think he perched. He figured you would come back.
Yep.
He might be around here somewhere. She thinks for a moment. Kind of like takes a few steps towards one of the large bramble trees that kind of wraps around this section of this building. She kind of just puts her hand on it, closes her eyes, and just almost as if she's feeling into the tree itself. And after about a minute or so of just her silently kind of like almost humming to herself, I think he should be just further down the street on your left-hand side. It seems he's made himself like a little perch over the third house on the left.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I'll go pick him up, and then we'll go stop by Zangum's place.
Perfect. Take care for now.
You as well. Thank you.
She starts heading around in the other direction. But you follow the directions that Merlet provided, and easy enough, you head to this one section of the street where there's a thin alleyway, but it's got a lot of shrubbery that kind of guides it along between the two buildings. You kind of walk in, and just when you get to the third house, you hear,
I was wondering when you would come back.
Hey there, Sergeant.
And he kind of flutters down from behind one of the trees and kind of perches on your shoulder.
Everything turned out all right?
I mean, yeah, about as well as it could. Pretty standard stuff. The guy we were interrogating was another freelance mercenary type, so still don't really know too much about who we're looking for, but he confirmed the letter we found was correct. Now we're just sort of resupplying and heading back out probably tomorrow morning.
We're almost at the end of this trail. We have a figure, at least a figurehead.
It's a start.
Hopefully it brings us to an end of this case and we could solve this mystery. But I have faith in you.
Regardless, I mean, we're going to have a lot to report to the head honchos back in the capital.
Indeed, we will.
All right. I need to see Man About a Sword, and then I'm going to spend 6 hours writing in my book.
All right. You ask around, and you hear about this gnomish individual named Zendam. And he has like this makeshift stall on the ends of the hunter's procession, and you go to speak to him, and he's like most gnomes, they have this erratic, they're tiny as is, but they have this erratic different types of hair, whether it's multicolored, whether it's pompous, whether it's just strange. He has himself what looks to be like he was in a wind tunnel. This very faded, almost silvery blue hair that kind of just jettisons as if it was like gelled or glued, or even like he was in a severe wind tunnel and just kind of like spiked all the way back and just stayed like that. This big bulbous nose, these very small, beady eyes. He's quite young for a gnome himself. Hi. What can I get for you? Something interesting?
I was told you might know a thing or two about enchanting weapons.
Oh, you have. I am the right guy for you. What do you need?
Well, and then I will take off the scabbard for my short sword. And I was like, I would just like this to be able to, hit a little bit harder and cut through some, magical resistances and immunities, that sort of thing. I'll just make, enough magic to make it a bit more reliable.
Just a little bit of magic attached to it. Just make it like an enchanted short sword.
Yeah, like if you could put a number to it, like make it like +1 better.
All right, he muses over it. It's a very, very elegant blade. Is it an heirloom of some kind?
Yeah, it was my father's sword back in the day. He didn't really have much use for it anymore, but it's pretty comfortable in my hands.
It's good that you brought it with you, and I can see a bit of wear, a little bit of use, a few dings in here. I can probably fix those out with the enchantment. Let's see. This would probably. He kind of puts it down on the table. I could do it for you for about 500 gold. It maybe take about 3 hours to do. Is that something within your budget and your price range?
That is within my budget, just barely. So I'll slap down 500 big ones.
He kind of like he looks and he's just like this almost sneaky grin comes on his face. Wow. Usually I have to people have to haggle around, but by all means. And he kind of like scoops up the 500 gold. What's your name, young sir? And where should I deliver this to? Or will you be waiting around? It'll take you take me about 3 hours to do, but
yeah. My name is Azazel Starflower, and what inn did we stay at last time we were here?
The Leafy Sap.
And I'll be over at the Leafy Sap. I might be indisposed when you get there, but
all right.
It's all right. I'll end up with it anyway.
Wonderful. I will come find you there in about 3 hours' time. He takes the sword and he puts it in its scabbard. Thank you so much for your patronage. I will get this done right away. And then he slings the sword over his shoulder and immediately starts packing up some of his stuff in a very cheerful manner. And then puts it in a large sack that he has, slings that over his other shoulder, and immediately just begins to skip and skitter away to what looks like a house just a few houses over. Unlocks the door and runs inside and shuts the door behind him.
I look at my coin purse, and it's 1 platinum coin, and I think to myself, I really should have haggled.
What a beautiful world.
Anyway,
how did I get here?
Yes.
I'm gonna go write in my book for 6 hours.
The day goes on as it goes from morning to afternoon to evening to night. Eventually, Trovik, you return to the blacksmith, and he has your silvered great axe ready. He explains it didn't take him too much time, though. He had to hammer out a few of the imperfections using silvered coin. But he provides you with your silvered great axe, so you can add that to your inventory. Before that, Zendam eventually does find you, Azazel, and the rest of the group at the Leafy Sap, and he provides you with your enchanted or +1 short sword.
Yo, huge.
And you, the group, kind of sit down for a nice evening meal, rent a room, a few drinks, maybe rack up about 10 gold worth of food, drink, and rooms for the night.
Paying.
What would be
10 gold? That's about 1 platinum, right?
It's not. I'm not footing the bill for this one. I spent so much money today.
I didn't even think of that, but yes, you are correct.
How much
Don't
is
make me do this.
How much was the silver axe again? It was
about
No, it was a lot of silver pieces.
350 silver pieces as the material, and he asked for about another 5 gold. So you're looking at about 40 gold.
40
in total.
That's it. All right. Well, I'm just going to get rid of all my 50, so that's 5, so 35 gold.
Will be Christmas Drax. See the sidewalks. City sidewalks.
Oh my goodness. But yeah.
And 35. Okay.
Is there any particular conversation or anything else that would like to be had before the end of the evening? Any last minute shopping, let's say, that I may have missed out?
I'm so broke, guys. Also, I'm like dead tired because I just spent 6 hours writing in my book.
Fair.
And like myself, Azazel's left-handed, so he's got like smudges all across his hand, and he's just like, oh man, okay, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, are we gonna have like a meal or something in the inn? Is that the idea? Like our...
Yeah, with like I said, the about 10 gold's worth of food, drink, and rooms.
Azazel's like, I just ordered water. I don't know why I need to pay an even amount of the bill. I don't know why I need to pay my.
I
my
ordered
part
a
of the
water and a salad. Come on.
Come on, guys.
The history
And it was iceberg
of this
lettuce.
group, they usually spend that around that much.
Yeah, we spend a lot of money.
Is bread
They
free?
know you're coming.
We'll split an order.
Is bread free? Dude, if I get fries for the table, you split some with me. That means I don't have to pay for the whole thing, right?
I'll have
Okay,
some.
how can I just like put down a platinum and just like take care of this?
Sure, you're
I've
more than welcome
already
to.
got it.
Do you?
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're both so kind. Thank you.
But
Yeah.
you have an
Zazel,
interesting...
did you have a enterprising day?
It was a good day for investments. I will say that.
That spell that you wrote down in your book, do you believe you'll get use out of it in our endeavors to come?
I think it could be very useful. Absolutely. Wait. Oh shit. Does it have a material component?
It costs 1 platinum with this,
It
which
costs-
the spell consumes.
I need 100 gold worth of holy water or powdered silver and iron to use it. Hey.
Guess you need to go shopping again.
So yeah, that spell's really useful. Turns out, I found this out as I was writing it down. Costs quite a bit to keep you safe. I need at least 100 gold worth of either holy water or powdered silver and iron, and I don't have that kind of money anymore on account of how I spent it all on copying this spell and making my sword better.
This is chance. This is chance for
Decisions were made.
to be.
Decisions were made.
What, Drovik?
Oh, it's okay. It's good thing to lend the monies. Yes.
Yes,
I look at.
that's very nice. Yes.
Okay. And I just throw my bag on the table, and I just say, "Take what you need, little man."
Truly.
I'm just... Lark is
Yes.
just looking at you guys like, little man?
Is red man.
mean,
Big,
either
None,
one.
none
He
of
is-
you are little.
big,
He is
powerful
small by
red man.
comparison.
I'm small by
Absolutely
comparison.
none of you are little.
I'm average sized, but when you walk around people that are much taller, average size makes you look a lot shorter.
I mean, honestly, he's smaller than you, too, so...
Yeah. Like, I'm fairly average sized, but if I went out for like a college basketball team, do they have basketball?
You would be
here?
doing the
I have
layups.
2 questions.
What is
What is
basketball?
basketball and what is a college?
Right. Sorry, university. About universities where I guess you don't really have a very structured sort of education system with your people, do you?
You can do the counting, yes?
Yeah, I can count.
But
And I'll just
that's assuming
count
a
out
lot.
10 platinum. Do you have universities, like big brick buildings that you go to like advanced education for? The whole like spirit
Buildings
quest,
I've seen are temples.
the whole like building quest, spiritual quest thing doesn't really strike me as the sort of stuffy brick outer work that most universities are.
I will give 100 gold to Azazel.
Thank you.
Some people like to trap themselves behind walls and become consumed in their own ideas and thoughts. And some people like to find their thoughts out in the world.
Fair enough.
So I hope that you have found some thoughts today. Like how to spend your money wisely.
I feel like I'm being
I
scolded
think you
by my
learned how
father.
not to spend it.
You
And
know,
my mother.
in Little Red Man's defense, at least there are no dead brothel ladies.
Dead what?
I don't think that's the defense that you
Yeah,
think it is.
Where did that come? Why is that the bar?
You seem like
What are you talking about?
you have pretty face, and you seem like type to spend money on the women.
But what does that have to do with killing?
Because
Why does that
we
make them
see
dead?
a lot of people end up dead when they are around us. It is
This conversation has gotten suddenly very exhausting, and I'm going to go to bed.
Okay.
I'm just curious and laughing. Because that makes absolutely no sense, but I want to know what your reasoning is. I can't help myself.
Trovik just mean that Little Red Man could be spending his monies on other things that are not as good as the things that he spends
I mean,
his
yeah. To be
monies
fair,
on.
I did spend all of that money on something that'll hopefully help us, in the sense of getting a very nice spell and making my sword better. Which, if my sword's better, less danger for everyone. But yeah,
Totally agree. I just don't know where like dead women come in. I don't get
I
it.
did not mean his insult. I'm saying Trovik say is like in general brothel people in cost monies, yes?
Well, yeah. I mean,
where I
yeah.
come from, you just
Generally,
take what you
want them alive.
But Trovik just mean that there's a lot of danger around us, and people end up not alive all the time. Is in putting you know.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here eating cookies and just trying so hard not to laugh.
Maybe next time take some proficiency in acrobatics before you try this mental gymnastics. Holy cow!
It was meant as compliment for Redman to be spending his monies on.
I think he thinks you're good looking.
Thank you for the compliment, Trovik. It wasn't entirely necessary.
I can't blush. I'm already red.
Wow.
Okay, this is adorable. Oh my goodness. Okay.
I learn something new about you every day.
You two are very cute.
Yeah, that's the word for
No
it.
judgment. No judgment at all.
This is getting shipped.
Judgment for what? What's going on? I'm very confused.
Both of us are very confused at this point.
She gets up, she puts her hand on both their shoulders, gives them a bit of a squeeze, and then goes up to her room.
Okay, I'm going to bed.
I will take my jug of not drunkenness out and order a shit ton of vodka. Like all of it.
So you can just enjoy the sweet, sweet taste of vodka.
Subtly mention that I am a drinking champion from far, far away. And if anybody wants to challenge Trovik, there is at least 3 empty chairs now.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I can do that. Persuasion with my positive 0. Hey, 13.
13. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of people here who want to excessively drink, especially for sport. There seems to be one individual who, after you mention it throughout the inn, he kind of like, all right, you wanna drink a lot? You love drinking a lot. And you're a champion from where you're coming from, right? Did I get that right? And he already looks like he's had a few.
Trovik is champion of everywhere Trovik go.
All right, champion man. Bowman.
Champion man.
He kind of blinks. I'll take you on. He kind of like lets out a loud belch. I'm sorry, excuse me. And kind of like addresses the few other patrons there. My apologies. It says on the table. All right, what's your drink of choice?
I would assume that they would have brought me bottles of vodka at this point.
Yeah, the staff there, they do bring you one of the bottles of vodka there for you. And kind of to pour for yourself.
There we go. Yes, this.
All right. He grabs his mug, finishes whatever was in there, slams it down on the table in front of you. All right, let's go.
Okay. Big man. Put your monies down. I look.
Ooh.
Little Flower's sitting next to me, yeah?
She's looking a little tired, but she's didn't you say this was there's something special about it? She kind of like is gesturing to the tankard.
No. Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
Nope.
Okay. Well, don't drink too much.
I think it's made of some kind of special wood.
Maybe. Oh, all right. But she pays no mind to it. She's curious, but she's like, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
You do you.
Okay.
Using the tankard of sobriety.
Just one.
Between the two of you, you both pound back drink after drink after drink. It's magically influences the alcohol, almost removing the alcoholic content to it, it seems. And it's just easy enough. It's like drinking water. This individual gets maybe about 3 or 4 cups in and is starting to do one of these.
Oh, I don't understand how these people can drink this stuff. It tastes like rubbing alcohol. Oh.
It tastes like victory, is what it tastes like, little man.
It tastes like... Oh.
And he just kind of like slowly nudges his head onto the table and just stops moving.
Okay. That is all. I just wanted to feel... Trovik wanted to feel a little bit of victory.
I would say the bottle itself, it'd probably be about a bottle and a half. Would have cost you maybe about 3 gold.
Okay. I toss a platinum because I don't know what's what, and I just put it on the table.
Sure. You put a platinum on the table. The waiter eventually comes around, clears up a few things, and it's like, "Oh, thank you very much for your generous tip." Kind of like pockets it.
What is tip?
It clears off everything. Would you like the rest of the bottle? There's still maybe about half here.
Yes.
All right. He kind of like pushes the bottle towards you. Enjoy. Goes back to the bar.
I pour the whole thing in, and I lean it over to Little Flower, and I say, "Is today's celebration? Tonight we celebrate."
I don't know, Trovik. Last time I drank something like that, I didn't feel too good.
You find out why mug is so special. Tinker. Tinker.
Oh, okay. She takes a sip. Oh, this stuff tastes terrible. Why do you drink this?
It makes magic spirit belly strong.
Definitely makes me feel all warm inside, but not in a good warm. It burns. She almost resists going for a second sip. Takes like a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, no.
Let's go to bed.
Yeah, let's go to bed.
This town
You
has
guys
had enough of Trovik. In a
You
good way.
retire. You retire to your beds.
Mm-hmm.
Have yourself a wondrous and good sleep. As the next morning comes, as quickly as you passed out, find yourselves feeling refreshed, now sleeping in an actual bed for the night. A little bit better than the last few nights out in the woods and the den and the caves. But Zazel, it's been about 2 days since, based on the information you were given and what you perceive to be your timeline, you have maybe about 3 days before 3 days to confront this individual in their homestead.
Right, okay, so I'm gonna swing by somewhere where I can get holy water.
All right.
Do we want to head out today to the group? Do we want to head out today, or do we want to maybe give another day of rest and relaxation, or do we want to really whip the reins on this one and get going?
It would probably be most advisable to go sooner rather than later. Probably want to get ahead of it as much as possible. We have our supplies. I do not know what more we need.
It depends on how much time you want her to have to prepare.
That is very true. So I'll go get my holy water. If there's any last minute supplies you guys need, run and grab some stuff.
What is holy water? What makes
It's blessed
it so? By what?
by a higher being of some kind, or by a priest of a particular temple.
In the cookie healer is priest too?
I'm not sure. Like, out of character. I honestly don't know. Can she bless water?
There's a spell that can turn water to holy water.
I mean, it is actually a physical thing, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if she can do that.
You technically can, as all clerics have that spell. I just don't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
Okay. Like, is it a first level
Either.
spell? Is it
Yeah.
a cantrip? Is it a...
I think it's a first level spell.
It's either first
okay.
or second.
Okay.
Ceremony. It's called ceremony. That's what
There
it
it
is.
is.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay. I
Yep.
don't know that I have that, but I probably
It's a
could
first
have
level
it.
spell.
But it's a first
Okay.
level spell, and trust me when I say that you would probably want me to have a cure spell instead. So yeah, I can do it, but it takes up a spell slot.
Yeah, it's one of the
and-
spells you want to do on like an off day.
Yeah.
So that way you can prepare new spells in the morning. But yeah, that's no problem. I can just go pay for water.
I mean, I can.
I mean,
like, if this
America.
is possible to do, if it's possible for her to have memorized that spell, like, you know, for that before. And
Well,
then
yeah,
she'll-
at the beginning of every long rest,
yeah.
or at the beginning of every
Yeah.
dawn, whichever
We
you
could-
prefer,
we could-
you can change out
could
your
be-
spells as you so choose.
Yeah, we could be lame and say we talked about it the night before, and that you prepared it for today, and then we're a day plus travel from the Lilac Grove, so you'd have another long rest before we confront her.
So
That the case?
this might help out a little bit. Do you have ritual casting?
I don't know. When do you get that?
Clerics have ritual casting.
So technically, you don't even need to prepare ceremony. You will
Oh, it'll
always
just
have
take
access.
10 minutes for me to do it, or however long.
It'll take you about.
Actually, it depends on if it is allowed to be cast that way, right?
Yeah.
It has.
Yes,
this...
it is. So I pulled it up just to double
Okay.
check, and it is a ritual spell. It would take you an hour to cast one vial at a time.
Okay,
So
well,
How many vials is 100 gold pieces worth
Let's-
of holy water, though?
Mhm.
a lot.
So then you can do it, cookie healer.
I can do it, yes.
I would say maybe after 4 hours of doing it,
Okay.
you'll have enough.
Also,
We
not to be
long
the
trip.
a-hole rule lawyer that I am, but I am a wizard.
It's your job.
Because I've played a cleric, I'm fairly certain that classes that prepare their spells do have to have them prepared in order to ritual cast them. The wizard is the exception because it just needs to be in their spell book. Otherwise, every class could ritual cast anything on their spell list.
Yeah, you have to have it
sense.
prepared. Just ritual casting doesn't consume a spell slot.
In the same way that spell known sorcerers have to have the spell known in order to ritual cast it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, but when a cleric is casting a spell, they can memorize anything on the cleric list day to day.
Yeah, you just have to prepare it for that day.
Correct.
Okay, so if I prepared it for that day, then I could cast it as a ritual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, as long as I had another long sleep after and could, memorize what I usually do, then
sleep.
sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
So yeah.
So in a way, above game, you could, if you find 4 flasks of water, you could cast ceremony on them 4 times and have about 100 golds worth of holy water.
I get 4 flasks of water from somewhere.
And they're not
You can
plastic
create
bottles.
food and water. That just happens to be a 3rd level spell.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just...
Semantics aside, I'd say between the two of you, with your resources and the town itself, easily willing to give you water for free. It's not...
Nice.
You're able to get your material components for your magic circle spell. It would take you 4 hours to do so, but you can do it without really paying it for anything.
But the water is cursed.
So what does that spell do?
Right, so the way that it works is I make a little circle using that holy water, and depending on how I cast it, I can either trap some bad creatures from getting into it, or keep bad creatures from getting out of it.
Oh, so we're going supernatural here.
Yeah, if we want to get specific on the creature types, it very specifically works the best on celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Okay. Trick them into the circle, etc., etc.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Hence
Don't
the
watch the
supernatural
show, but
reference.
got the reference.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Who in the group is Castile?
Yeah. I guess that would be me.
You'd be the closest.
I'll take it. He was like my favorite character ever.
He is pretty cool. So yeah, that's what that spell does. So now that we've spent 4 hours getting some god water,
Some holy water. It's maybe about midday at this point.
It's
early afternoon.
called Fiji.
we should get going.
Okay.
Smart water.
That's the one. Should we get going on the trail?
Have Azazel spit in it.
Intelligence +1. Yeah, that's cool.
All of you gather your supplies and whatnot. After spending a few hours at the inn preparing, while the rest of you prepare yourselves, you leave Boamar and start heading southward down the plated roadway. My question is, where are you heading exactly? Are you following
Let's
it
say
all
this
the
was
way?
east. We needed to go east.
As per the note,
We are in
It
Boamar
was,
and
it was
heading
east
towards...
from the cave, if I remember correctly.
so I'll pull up the note. It had said, rendezvous a day and a half travel east of the plated roadway intersection. Wait amongst the lilac grove. I will greet you there. So now that I found my old map and I sent it to you guys in the Discord server, where would you believe the intersection is now that you have a physical map? that you can refer to.
Sweet. Let me take a look at that. I can't zoom in on my computer.
I really want.
L.O.R.E cooks really well, and she can heal people, and that's a good thing. But don't ask her for directions.
Okay.
Just saying.
Trovik make good with traveling, but just need to know where to go.
So that's Boamar right there. And we were going to
Well, my cat's sitting on my notes now, so.
East of Plated Roadway.
Yeah, you don't like it when I hold your tail.
Whoever's looking at the map, make a survival check for me.
Okay, I will roll. Come on, babies. That's a whole weapon 10. With
10?
9 plus 4.
Looking at it, it's the plated roadway is this big U that goes throughout the province. It mentions an intersection, but there are several intersections. You're not quite sure. It could be the one at the Ramla Farmlands. It could be the one just before Caroline. It could be the one at the Scarlet Byway.
I'm holding the map upside down. Has Trovik ever told anyone that Trovik cannot read?
So, remind me, to find the Jackaware's place, we went east from Boamar, right?
Correct.
Into the Thurkona Timberland?
Just south of it.
Just south of it? So... my gut tells me it's the one by the Scarlet Byway, but I could be very, very wrong.
Looking at the map itself, you gather it would take you maybe 12, 13 days to get to that Scarlet Byway.
Oh.
Long haul.
Oh.
And that's going down and around, or?
Yep. If you follow the roadway all the way through, because it's the easiest and safest way to travel. However, everything in the middle, in the Tierney open fields, is uncharted territory.
To be fair, we're pretty, like, if we just start following the road down south, we'd cross any intersection anyway. So if we are really attentive to specifically any lilac groves we see, we could just sort of roll the dice and just see if we come across it regardless. But geez, a day and a half east of what? That's the thing that
Sounds to me... whose message is this from?
The big Goliath lady.
Did our special guest was working for?
Arvin's employer, yeah.
One of them had it on him.
Mm-hmm.
That it was supposed to... They were supposed to be meeting a Goliath lady in day and a half east?
Yeah, when Arvin was talking to us earlier, he's mentioned something like very specific about the location that I can't remember. Did he say exactly like a day and a half from where, or did he say like where it was around? Because I know he said something about it that I was like, okay, that's legit, but it's escaping me right now.
He had mentioned that they were to meet. He did say east of the intersection of the plated roadway. It was a secluded grove in a section of forested area. There was a small pond or a large pond of some kind, and she had almost like this underground section that she would go into.
Boy, I really should have asked him to be specific about the intersection.
Make an intelligence check for me. Just
Out
general
of
intelligence.
character, I think it's the Scarlet Byway.
General intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a rough one. That's an 8.
An 8. A day and a half east of the plated roadway intersection. So looking at the map, there are what looks to be 3 intersections where the road splits into 3 different directions.
Nora, Ramlo, and the road to Fortress of Adana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can fucking read maps, bro.
Now, a day and a half east from said intersection.
And a day is 1 square, right?
It's there.
It's about 5-ish hours.
Oh, okay. So 5, 10, 15.
Okay. You see the intersection on the Ramlo farmlands?
So the Ong...
5 squares from that, the little forested area.
Yeah.
It's not 100% accurate, but
Right.
I usually gauge it around 5 hours at least.
Yeah. Per
I
square.
think, I think it's around there.
So the Onkanan Barad.
I mean, it's closer to the Ramlo farmlands than anything.
So then... I'm Trovik is tentatively looking at this map, trying to understand words as best he can, looking at this with Azazel and whoever else is, if we're all looking at it together, it's cool beans too.
Well, it's also, if it's in the Turney open fields and it's a day and a half east of the intersection, this intersection at the bottom here really only has a north. This one over here really only has a west. This is the one that has an east to it to begin with.
Yes.
That's not just more road. That's at least what's going through my head. Yeah.
Let's do it. You are smartest man Trovik know.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Also
Should we get horses?
smallest.
This is a long trip. This
Just saying.
Anyway, so yeah, we'd go south. We'd pass Semyaza, go to the Ramlo farmlands, and then go in east from that. Boy, this will be a few days. We should get going.
Yes, we should peck many of Lark's rations that smell so delicious.
Could we get a horse or two? Is there a horse or two here that we could get, at least for like a pack horse?
Of course. Especially here in Volmar. You can find all assortment of animals.
I want Budweiser horse.
Maybe not that kind of animal.
Maybe get like a cart? Like a horse and cart?
Let's do that.
An Amish wagon? Amish buggy?
Any kind of like a wagon, cart, something that we can put stuff in and like have an animal.
Yeah. This is good. Hey,
Horse
what are we
and cart.
doing with Orm and Lizard? Baby
They're
driver.
hanging out.
They're kind of just like they were in
vibing.
the cave. Every once in a while, they poke each other playfully, kind of get into like little tussles, kind of like biting each other here and there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But other times it's just kind of like they're just being ushered along as if like, okay, you guys know what you're doing, we don't, so.
Hey, Orm. You're very wise. What direction on map should we go?
Let's see. Let me pull up her stats, or their stats. Alright, let's make a
Lizard stats.
Lizard.
survival.
Reptile wins.
Looks at the map.
Nice. That's not.
Follow the road.
Okay. So we go the way you say then, Redman.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I just thought of a really stupid joke I'm going to use at some point.
But yes, you can, if you're easy enough to ask around before you leave Boamar, you can definitely purchase a cart, maybe a horse or two, depending on how much you want.
More than one? I mean, yeah, we certainly should have a horse or two or more. I mean, if you guys want a horse of your own.
If we are going to be traveling on road and wagon, and I look at Zorl and myself, we are going to need more than one strong horse.
How much is a horse and how much is a wagon and like
is there boat
wagon
sale?
If you're getting a single horse and a wagon, it probably puts you at around 18 gold.
Okay, this is no problem.
If you want 2 horses, I would say maybe about 20.
Okay, so 2 platinum?
Sure.
Will that work?
Oh,
okay,
wow,
so
yes.
Platinum is 10 gold, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
1 platinum is 10 gold.
Okay, so 2 platinum would be 20 gold. So you're saying we'd get like a cart or a wagon and 2 horses with that?
Yes, you'd get a cart and 2 horses. 2 draft horses, you say.
Sure.
And a
If
free
it's not a magic
subscription
weapon, it's
to
considerably cheap.
Armors Anonymous.
Okay, so yeah, she's gonna get that. So we'll get a wagon. We'll have 2 horses that are hooked up to the wagon.
Yes.
We'll have all our supplies in the
This
wagon
is-
so that we're not carrying them. And I can keep us fed. And we have a bit of a covered something, like for lookout, or I don't know, if we're
It's up
not
to you.
in the tiny hut. But if you guys want other horses,
No,
like if you want a horse
Torvik
that isn't
never,
a draft horse,
never been on top of horse.
well,
Torvik,
you're pretty large. I would suspect that
Big
there aren't
orc.
many horses that could hold you.
no.
Same with Zorl, unfortunately. But as
Zorro can turn into bear. Did you know this?
I have seen that.
Zorro,
Yes.
Zorro can
Very impressive.
probably run faster than horse.
That's true. Although
Bears
I wonder how
are
the horses
very
will take
fast.
that.
It's you.
Yeah. Okay, so she's gonna take care of 2 horses in the wagon.
No,
and
no.
supplies and stuff like that, so that we have like what we need.
Torvik takes out coin. Take what need from Torvik. You've saved lives of many when you showed face. You saved entire party. Please.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to help, but okay. So she looks in the bag. Is there 2 platinum in here?
There's lots of money in there. Torvik never spends money besides on
Okay.
X.
She'll take 2 platinum. She will hand it back to him, and she'll pay.
Okay. Yep. 2 platinum.
Purchase
2
yourself a cart and 2 draft horses.
Yes.
And it's big enough to carry
2
all of
draft horses and a microphone.
Okay.
Just saying.
So she'll drive the horses.
you. Okay.
All right. Torvik is still Oprah rich.
So
Apparently.
make an animal handling check for me.
Yeah, we'll see how well that goes. Animal handling. Actually, she's pretty good at it. And she's very good at it. 22.
Nice.
22. Yeah, easy enough. You speak soft words to the horses, kind of like
It's a
pitch them
wisdom
up.
thing.
Yeah. And they feel comfortable enough around you.
The least wise character here.
So when you guide them, easily they slowly begin until they pick up a pace that's more comfortable for the rest of you. And it takes you a few days following the plated roadway. It takes about 2 days, about a day and a half to get back to Semyaza. And just before then, as you're just passing by and you start to see the somewhat stone and boarded housing of the dockyards of Semyaza, so close to the Riptide Bay. Orn kind of like is looking out and watching it as you're about getting closer. She's like,
Wait! Fish! More fish.
We'll come back and we'll get fish on the way home. How's that sound? I'll give you a whole day where you can go fishing.
You guys continue on past Samyaza, or you kind of like just staring back at it.
Bump.
Almost.
These damn puddles. Who is paying to have these? God.
But it takes you. You would have to stop for a few days in between to take a long rest at nighttime. With the Leoman tiny hut and hopefully you all taking care of the horses and feeding them. Takes you maybe about almost 4 days until you hit the intersection just where Ramlo Farmlands is. And the intersection where it starts going westward into the province over. And as you approach the Ramlo Farmlands, for you, L.O.R.E, this is a familiar sight. A wide, vast open area filled with only a minute amount of building structures. A lot of them maybe 2, almost 3 stories tall, mostly made out of brick and wood. And vast land of what's the word I'm looking for? Almost like trout fields, various vegetation, series of wooden fences that outskirt this city itself, it seems. And you can see a handful of farmers in the fields as you approach, and just beyond, for a few of you, further southward, you can kind of see a few of the what look like watchtowers at the edges of the city, where they seem to be almost 100 feet up, and facing towards the Shadow Bluff Keep. Sorry, not the Keep. Shadow Bluff Mountains, even further south. But it's serene. It's calming.
If there are any farmers out, she's gonna wave.
A few of them kind of take note and wave back. They may not recognize you at first or see all your physical features of any of you, but they see the wave. They wave back as they go back to tilling the field. A few people harvesting what seems to be these large stalks of almost like a red planted. These large stalks with like red leaves that have these small, they look like almost large raspberries, maybe the size of like watermelons. But there are all these little intricate swirls of roots that kind of grow out in between some of these little bulbous pieces. You find yourself towards the first intersection. What do you continue onward? Do you go elsewhere? Stop?
Where are we supposed to be going?
Day and a half east from this intersection is where we would supposedly find our lilac grove.
But didn't you want us to be keeping an eye out on pretty flowers now?
If it's a day and a half journey in, I don't know if we would have seen it by now.
So east?
I think we're just gonna have to start heading east.
Okay. Then L.O.R.E will turn the cart east.
You pull on the horse's reins and start to get them to go into the actual grassy patches.
Let's hope they handle well off-road.
There is no road this direction. Should we keep the horses here in this town, and we will venture off by ourselves, lest they come to harm in this wild country?
he does make a fair point.
That depends on if the day and a half is walking or riding.
The group
The
didn't look like they
ride-
had mounts.
Riding would be quicker, as opposed to walking, as a note. But the road would be, or the traveling would be uneven ground. It wouldn't be the hard stone, or the hard smooth stone that you walk on the plated roadway, let's say. So the choice is yours.
If you want me to drop the horses in the wagon off somewhere, we can. I know people here. So, I mean, I could just bring this to the temple if you want.
If you know people where they would be safe, then
Of
I
course
feel
they'd be
that
safe here.
that may be the best course.
Okay. So I will direct us into town and to the temple to Shantea.
You veer off course and head back onto the road and into the Ramlo farmlands themselves. The roads are wide, not necessarily paved. It's mostly dirt roads, but kept clean enough. Easily traveled, always traveled. And you pass by a series of like farmhouses. Every house is almost identically made to represent a farm and a simple, vast land of whatever they have growing. Various vegetables, various plants. And in one section of the city itself, there is what seems to be like a large temple. Not as high as most of these 2 to 3 story farmhouses, but simple. It looks like it may have been a repurposed barn at some point, though it's been painted over and made to almost represent a more ordained place of worship. You find yourselves here in front of the temple to Shantea.
He'll get out of the driver's seat, pass the reins on to Azazel, who I'm assuming is nearby, and will knock on the door and wait for someone to open and greet whoever does.
Okay. You head towards the so-called front door of the shrine itself. You do see a few people out in the fields themselves. There are even fielded farmland by this temple. They're all wearing like muted brown outfits, very simple. Someone does open the door. Hello. L.O.R.E. It's good to see you again. What brings you back so soon?
You too. Insert name here.
It's
Keith.
a human male,
Okay.
Keith.
shaved bald.
Keith.
You know what? Fine, sure, we'll call him Keith.
Yo, Keith is bald.
What's
dude.
his name?
He kept going on about Keith. I'm like, all right, fine, it's Keith.
Keith?
It's
Okay. Keith. Okay. Hello, Keith.
Hello,
Good to
L.O.R.E.
be back home.
How goes your? Well, it's been about a month or so since we've last seen you.
Over that, and yeah, there's been a lot going on. But for now, all I really need to do is sort of leave this wagon and 2 horses here until we come back to collect them. We figured they'd be well used and taken care of here.
True,
You
that
could
is
use
true.
them while we were out doing other things.
What? If of course, just have your companions, and he waves to the waves to the rest of you. Just have them bring it on around the side of the temple.
Okay.
Where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you headed? You last spoke of finding one of the other shrines in one of the other villages.
Well, I was captured by
You what?
ferrets. What were they again?
Ferrets. Damn.
That's. I've never heard of ferrets. Oh,
We're
wow.
jackals. Pardon me, we're jackals.
Oh.
They always reminded me of ferrets to me. But okay. I spent about a month cooking for them so that they wouldn't kill me.
He's kind of like flabbergasted. Well, you you got
Well,
out
I'm
of
alive.
that. Clearly, you're alive and well, and that sounds like quite an
and
ordeal.
I have friends. Hi.
Yes.
I have friends.
Hello, friends of L.O.R.E. Welcome.
Friends.
I give
We're
him
friends.
my best Trovic smile.
Yes,
That's really
wonderful
scary. Yeah.
friends. Strange
Yeah.
group.
But we help each other. We're gonna help each other
Friends.
again. We're gonna go. I don't know how to explain this, guys. How would you explain this?
We're gonna go fight some bad people that
Okay,
are
that
kind of
too.
dangerous.
Yeah.
At-
We have to go
oh.
about a day east.
A day
Yeah.
east into the
Yeah.
Tione open fields.
Yeah, do you know if there's like a lilac grove about a day and a half out that way?
Not that I've heard of. There might be one. It's uncharted land. There could be anything growing in there. If there's some sort of lilac grove that someone has told you about, chances are it's there. It's just a matter of finding it.
There's some strange woman making weird creatures out there.
No, that's
We
the way of
think.
looking at it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does this woman have to do with the strange creatures that have been rumored about in the province of the last few months?
We think so. We don't know if she's making them so much as she's taking them from someone else who captures them. I'm not really sure.
Interesting.
Large woman, face tattoos, sort of.
She's a Goliath.
It kind of is taken aback a bit. A Goliath.
Yeah.
Yeah, group of rotating mercenaries helping her out to grab up a bunch of animals.
Does not bode well. But
No.
Oh, she's
It's-
a
Doing my
Goliath?
best to help solve the problem, though.
well,
So-
I mean, best of luck, and the wild mother be with you. And Goliath, he's got this look of scorn on his face. He seems a little disappointed, but he's trying not to sit on that thought for a moment.
Well, not all Goliaths are that way.
I understand. It does not help their plight, their reputation, if this Goliath woman that you speak of is either behind the source or connected to it. The people here, they're still not fond of the Goliaths that live in the Shadow Bluff.
Well, I know, but my friend Zoril here, he's gonna help too.
Well, I mean, if you have one of their clan members helping
I
you
don't
out,
think
that
they're
might.
the same clan. I don't think so.
As far as I know, the only Goliaths that live in this region are all from the Shadowed Bluff. I could be mistaken. I'd rather not assume. Do be mindful. If your Goliath friend here, if too many people, there are certain individuals here that might not take too kind to his presence. But
Well, we weren't planning on staying here too long, really. We just wanted to drop off the cart and the horses and make sure that they were taken care of while we were out doing our thing.
all right. Well, we
But
can do
we'll
that
be
for you.
gone.
No,
We'll
that
be going.
your friends are welcome here. Everyone is welcome here. It's just you know it. I'm not sure. I'm certain he might know, but the others might not know that the Goliaths are a bit of a sore group. So, a pain in the side here in the Ramlo farmlands.
I didn't know L.O.R.E's hometown was racist. This is awkward. Oh.
I'm making no judgment myself, and neither does the temple, but the people around here, yeah.
They don't like what they don't understand. In fact, it scares them.
Well,
I'd say that it's most everywhere.
Well, let me ask quickly. Are you all in on this conversation as well, or is it just L.O.R.E and Keith having this conversation?
You're all welcome to hear it. She's not hiding
Trovic
anything.
is standing, but does not understand big words until he hears Goliath, racial, not so good sort of thing, and stands, pushes his way through, And
I mean, it was more like
Snort's
when L.O.R.E was like loosely introducing us, Azazel, for propriety's sake, would have like started to approach, but then like when they just kind of kept talking, he would have like kind of stopped a little bit ways away.
Yeah. Trovik pushes through.
Let me say this. L.O.R.E, you would know this. There is a history between the Ramlo farmlands and the Goliaths of the Shadowed Bluff. Zoro would actually know this as well. But for the rest of you, I'd say make a history check and let's see what you can recall. Trovik, this might not... You might not know, but it's worth a shot.
And with the -1, yeah, why not?
My rolls have gotten so much worse tonight. 5.
5?
Yeah.
16 with the -1.
So it's like there's something there. You coming from the capital city, you know little bits of different history that involves all across the countryside, but it's like one of those moments where it's like there's something going on, but I can't remember what it is. Trovik, you might have heard, whether it be one of your stop-throughs through the Ramlo farmlands, maybe someone complaining in passing about the Goliaths essentially stealing some of the harvest again, or at least they assume that they're blaming the Goliaths for missing crop, and there was mention of another child had gone missing in the last 2 months, but you're not certain whether that holds up or not.
Mm-hmm.
But for L.O.R.E and Zoro, you both know through history. Long ago, the Goliaths, they did live in the Shadow Bluff. They still do, but they tended to venture out, and they would get into disputes with the people that lived here about who owned what and what was free for the taking, let's say. It got to a point where the conflict was so great that a small war was about to break out, and so the Empire and all the Coutelier and kind of stepped in to essentially mediate this dispute, and decided to allow the Goliaths to take control of the Shadowed Bluff Mountains, and they were the sole owners of the entire mountains. They could live there, they could do as they so pleased there, so long as they left the people of the Ramlo farmlands alone. This was their place to grow harvest that was traded and sold across the countryside. And so long as that agreement stood still, the Empire wouldn't step in and essentially obliterate the Goliaths with their massive armies. So it was left to that. It did bring other conflict with other humanoids who lived on the Shadow Bluff, such as the lizard folk, who were essentially extradited out of the mountains by the Goliaths because they claimed it as their own. But it's always been one of those sore historical moments long ago that most people here kind of, when they see a Goliath or they hear of it, they kind of have like that, oh, those people, they're so brutish, they're so negligent, they take what they want and they're all barbarians kind of thing.
Nice.
Well, L.O.R.E was raised in a temple of Shantea where they basically take in anyone who needs it. So
true.
As far as she's concerned, anyone is entitled to whatever, like healing. She's not going to deny anybody anything.
No, the temple themselves, they do not racially profile. They understand it's like this was a thing, this happened. Yeah. We understand why everyone's still sore about it, but we leave it alone. That's the past is the past. If we're gonna help them, if they come, we'll help them, kind of thing. Yeah. But it's a touchy subject that nobody likes to talk about. But
so basically, L.O.R.E has no problem with Zoro, but other people in the settlement might.
Most people do.
Okay.
For said reason, is whenever something bad tends to happen, they usually blame the Goliaths because they think it's them negging on their word that they would not bother them, so to speak, after years of imposing their will on them.
Okay. So the fact that this woman causing trouble is a Goliath is really
It's kind of
not a good thing.
No, it's one of those.
Yeah, it's not helping their cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trovik would have stepped through and snorted at the guy a little bit, and said, "Well, you should not judge so easily based on what kind of figure these people are. Where Trovik is from, Trovik's orc tribe, all good people, or bad. Who knows? Everybody slaughtered everybody. But where Trovik go here was kidnapped and brought to this land. People do not like orc as much, and do not like looking at strong orc, but it is not what the person is known for. It is what the person does that makes what you should care about. That's what you should give shits about. And I pat Zorro on shoulder and just say,
I'm not one judging your friend here. He's
Keith
more than
isn't the
welcome.
one to worry about.
But I understand the plight of the Goliaths and the differences from histories past.
This one saved Trovik's life, but also Trovik suspect that struck by lightning might have been by this guy. Don't know. So
anything is possible. I'm sorry I was not
still
there,
on fence, but
okay.
Yes, it's good on someone to judge by their actions, hopefully them being noble, their moral compass, even by their personality and nature. Yes, you can.
Should you?
Not always.
Just want to make sure you do not feel insecure with fellow Goliath here.
I am not worried about your Goliath friend here. He is more than welcome to stay here. But if you are just passing by to leave your belongings, your carriage, for the time being while you explore and find this Goliath woman, then you have my blessing, you have the temple's blessing, and hopefully you stay safe. And when you return, I hope to see you all return in one piece.
Yes.
We can discuss that, if so be.
Do you have washroom?
Yes.
Because Trovik would also like to leave something else here too.
Right.
It's been a long ride.
Azazel looks up from his pocket watch that he definitely has and says, "We gotta get going, like soon."
This has been a long time coming. It won't take long.
All right, Keith shows you to where the
inside.
Yes. You all kind of go in. He brings you all inside. Trovik, he shows you where you can go use the facilities.
Should I roll for performance?
No, you don't need
performance.
I just want to make sure that Zorl is not like accosted or otherwise like
As big as a place it is, a lot of people are kind of spread out everywhere because of the vast
inside
distances.
the temple would be better for him than outside, is all I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay.
So, with the safety being inside the temple, you all have a moment to kind of like take a break, and ponder this thought, this history, and potentially where this lilac grove be hidden east of here. But unfortunately, we will have to end it for today because we're a little bit over. But
thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. And thank you everyone who decided to join and watch for tonight. This was the last one for this year.
Whoa!
Suck it, 2021.
Time exists.
Time exists. But we will be back again on the 3rd of January.
Ooh.
Oh boy,
in 2022. And we will see where this last leg of the adventure, or if this mystery will be solved by confronting this Goliath woman. Is she behind it? Is she merely just another pawn in it? Who knows? But we'll let the group find out as they go track her down. But in the meantime, thank you, everybody. Have yourself a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday, and any other holiday you celebrate that has not come on yet that I don't recall off the top of my head. And a Happy New Year.
That's the one.
But always remember, be good to each other, beat hate with love, and be awesome.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Sure.
Don't forget.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Goodbye.
There it is.